Where are you, Chaz? I cannot see you.
We're up.
He's behind me. Hey, guys.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to the final day of our GAMA trade show live stream. We're ready to start. So
Are we ready?
I think so. Who's hosting first?
I think it's you.
Oh, all right. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Got John over here, too, with us.
Intro photo.
All right. Now, I'm, yeah, Mike. My mic is hopefully fine. It sounds okay in your ears, Derek? You all right?
Yes, it does.
All right.
How am I doing over there?
How about
Sounding
John?
good?
Yes.
Mic check.
I'm really excited to learn about this game.
This
Look, the production quality is amazing.
Thank you, guys.
Does this tray come with the game?
No, it's an accessory. You have to buy it separately.
Oh, of course. Kickstarter exclusives.
$49.95.
Okay. Oh, you can spell your name 1 T or 2.
1 and an exclamation point.
That's probably why I've always thought it was 2. Yeah. I've quickly, my eyeballs have quickly mistaken it as 2 T's.
Tutti Fruities.
People aren't used to seeing exclamation points in names. It's okay.
Oh, you're like the prince of the hobby.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
He's got
Yeah.
words before the names before the address is just a symbol. We could go for the symbol. The
you could just
symbol.
replace it with the exclamation mark.
The game designer,
Here's an
formerly known as
exclamation
the
mark.
symbol.
Yeah. We'll get the go-ahead from Derek when he's ready.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Yeah, good morning.
Feel free to put questions, comments, whatever you like in the comments below. We'll get to them if we get a chance.
It's a complicated game you're about to learn.
Can't wait. Are we ready to go?
Whenever you're ready.
Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Excellent.
Let's do it.
Hi, everyone. I'm Rodney. I'm here with BoardGameGeek. I'm also here with John Rott from Gatekeeper
Sorry,
Games.
I screwed up. You're not Eric. You're Rodney, not Eric.
Oh, I could just say Eric if you want. Hi, I'm Eric. From
I'll be
BoardGameGeek.
Lincoln.
There we go.
Good morning. All right, one more time.
You can pull that off better than I could.
I know, exactly.
Yeah. All good? All right.
Okay.
Here we go. Hi, everyone. I'm Rodney. I'm here with BoardGameGeek, and I've also been joined by John Rott of Gatekeeper Games.
Good morning.
Welcome, John.
Welcome. Thanks,
I'm really
Rodney.
looking forward to seeing this game that you've brought here with you.
It's a complicated
It
game.
looks a little complicated.
It generates random numbers, and you have to guess what they are. For the BGG and the RPG geek folk,
Yes.
I am in addition to game design, most of you guys know I do dice design.
That's right.
So what we have here, so I'm the original inventor of layered dice. So all the layered dice on the planet was our original designs back for initially our first game, The King's Armory, which
And
is
what do you
now
mean by
out of print.
layered dice? What does that mean for someone who doesn't know?
So layered dice, so you're used to dice that kind of have like, they're either solid color or
Right.
2 colors that are swirled,
Yes,
you know,
right,
that we kind
right.
of grew up on.
Yep.
So I created a new layering process where you pour in the first half of the mold, you have to let it cool a certain degree
I see.
before pouring on the second half of the mold, so it lays
keeps it from
on
all,
it
like, swirling,
smooth, and
yeah.
there's no swirl, there's just
Gotcha.
a smooth blend where the colors
Right.
meet.
But you can
Yeah.
transition colors like we have
Yes,
here.
you can.
Yeah.
Yep. So, so we've been doing halvesies for a long time, and we decided to break out and jump from 2 layers to 3 into 5.
Okay.
Okay. So
It's a little more waiting, I guess. Every layer, you're just waiting for that to dry, pour a little
it
bit more.
takes a really long
Yeah,
time.
okay.
But the cool thing about the layering process is that at each layer, the way that we do it, it gives us quality control at that layer to guarantee that there are no air bubbles
Right.
inside the dice.
Okay.
Okay. And we use a higher density resin. So short version or tagline we like to say is that they legitimately are the heaviest, densest, and most well-balanced resin dice on the planet.
And is that what I'm seeing here then is, it looks like it starts here very dark, and then goes green, then kind of dark again, then green, and then dark. That's the different
Yep.
layers
So
I'm
this
seeing
is
there?
so this is our 5-layer one we call reality shards. Okay. And it has what we call like a poem rhyme scheme.
Yes.
It has an A, B, C, B, A
Okay.
color scheme.
Yeah, pattern,
if
right.
that makes
Okay.
sense.
Yeah.
All right. So those are our new 5-layer dice. We also have new 3-layer dice that we made. So we have our most popular color combination, the purple and the blue, we call Psionic Combat. What we've done, I don't know if you can see this on either of the cameras, but we've blown out the center layer.
Oh, yeah. It's like a
So it's
band through it?
perfectly transparent through the center.
Oh, it's clear.
So
I
if you ever
gotcha.
doubted my claim that there's
Oh,
no bubbles
yeah,
inside,
Right. I see that now.
now you can check on
Oh,
all
that's
of them.
pretty cool.
Yeah. So we call those supernova dice, like the center
Okay.
is exploded like a supernova
very
in
neat.
space.
Yeah, and so that's your favorite color combination too? I can see why I like that.
Yeah.
Those two colors
Yep.
too.
And then what we did is we harnessed those cores. So
Harness them.
we harness.
Well.
It's very powerful. This is an intergalactic dice design. So the center core,
Right.
the blue and the purple, now that's the only color,
Right.
and the other layers are translucent. But as you spin the dice,
Sure.
they
It's
start to
fills
look
in.
like they're
Yeah.
solid,
Right.
and the numbers kind of float in the space, and then the shadow of the numbers sits on the layer inside.
Right.
Which is just freaking cool.
Are you able
I mean,
to-
they're dice. They generate random numbers. They do what dice do, but beyond that, they're just
Yeah, they're really cool to look at.
yeah, they're
right?
really pretty and they're cool to look at. They're collectible and.
Are you able to guarantee to people that they won't roll ones?
Unfortunately, I have to
feel like
guarantee
that would be
people
a pretty good
that
feature.
they're going to roll one
Oh,
out of every 6 times.
Maybe
It's-
someday
It's
someone
the
will develop that
perfectly
technology.
balanced thing. Yeah.
Okay.
You could just get some sandpaper
And just rub it off?
just shave
Okay.
the one off and paint another 6 on there.
I
As
hadn't
long as your
considered
GM
that.
doesn't notice.
Well, everyone likes having, like, I shouldn't say everyone, but I think a lot of people do like having something personal they're bringing to the table, right?
Yes.
Sort of
Yep.
reflects them, maybe their favorite color scheme.
Yep, matches the
And
colors of
now
the characters.
We've got colors and quite a variety of ways of expressing them too, right? So are these
Yep.
all available now? Coming soon?
This particular line is in production right now, so they'll
Okay.
be available in July, August. They're available
Right.
for retailers to pre-order right now, so they could have them in stores, and most of them are going to be exclusive.
And that includes these ones that you've harnessed the energies of dice with?
That is correct.
Okay, this will also be later this year?
Yes, correct.
Excellent.
Yeah, yep, July, August. So we're hoping to have them available by Gen Con.
Okay.
I was shooting for Origins, but it never works
More
out.
Gen Con?
It never works out.
Wow, it's hard to plan these things, right?
Yeah, it is.
Well, thank you, John. I appreciate
Yeah,
you showing us the
thanks for
dice
having
and
me.
giving us a look at how you've harnessed the power here and all these wonderful, wonderful colors. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for watching.
Okay. Very cool. I really like these ones. That's a really unique way of doing it.
They're so much fun.
Because you're right, like top down. It looks like I've got a fully colored, it's locked in die. Yes, steal away.
The intergalactic
Yeah.
powers of reality are leaving.
All right,
Yeah.
all set.
There we go.
Yeah, just detach
Thanks,
there.
Rodney.
You bet.
Yeah, mute me before I attack this.
Here, I'll lift it up and you can pull the sheet there.
There we go. Gonna get messed up all day.
Look at these giant dice.
No.
Those don't come in the game. I need to make sure to make that.
Yeah, make sure that's clear. I didn't expect they did.
All right. Hey, Derek. Or
He
we
harnessed
get a-
the
zoom
power
out
of the
on
reality
the-
of trees.
Yes.
Not a ton, but
Pleasure to meet you.
I might be able to make that work. Let's see.
Luke, right?
Yes.
Hi, Luke.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Rodney. I was reading the rules to this on the
Yeah.
flight over,
Yeah, and
actually.
You, I think, took a part of the rule book and blasted it out, and I think that. got
Oh
my
yeah,
attention.
that was fun. I really liked that in the.
Yeah.
Is that? Oh, it's here too, isn't it? Yeah.
It's not excellent.
I don't remember now if I had any.
Slide this over. Yeah, there we go.
Is that better? We can push these up a little bit too.
Yeah. Is there any? Let's see. That's probably fine.
It's 10 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, really, it's whatever's the most succinct. We really typically try to aim more for 5.
Okay.
But you have the breathing room. But the main thing is, you want something that people are going to be like, oh, I could watch that quickly and get a
Sure,
sense
yeah.
of a high-level overview.
So why don't you put this in like kind of right about there-ish on your shirt? Just do a little pinch. Go on your right-hand side.
Yeah. So that way, when you turn to, yeah.
Maybe a couple inches towards your, like really right there. So.
Yeah.
It's a science. Yeah.
There it is.
That's probably gonna work out well for us. Alright, sounds good. Yeah.
I've got some stuff off camera. Yeah, this is easy to talk about.
And we get enough room here if you need to pick up and roll dice or just want to show. Sides there.
Yeah, so obviously all this is still pre-production.
Yes. Yeah, I'm guessing these are tiles, I presume,
Yeah,
right?
and my wife was working hard on those dice. We wanted some nice big visible dice for this show.
Oh, it's perfect for video too,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. No, it's good thinking. Is there anything else we need to put on the table at all, or is this enough?
This will be coming
'Cause you
out
can hold
later.
things over
yeah,
if you want to.
I'll be able to hold this over.
Yeah.
So,
And
yeah.
you can keep in mind, you can face it towards us because the camera's flipped, so it'll be face up for them. So even if you're, yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
Rodney.
Yeah.
Is it if you scooted just a little bit towards you?
I guess so.
Already.
No, you can come in. Actually, you can come in a little bit. No, I guess is that about right there? Or?
Well, it just is, the GAMA logo was obstructing his head.
Yes,
so I wanted
gotcha,
to-
gotcha. Would you like me to move a little more? Because we got room here if you want.
If you got room, you
Yeah, hop over just one more step. There you go. We've got little watermark right about here. So.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Okay.
Make sure I have my street dates. I don't see it.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay, I guess we're ready to start. If you're ready. Feel ready?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Hi everyone, I'm Rodney. I'm here with BoardGameGeek, and I've also been joined by Luke from Portal Games.
Yep.
And you've brought with you Imperial Settlers Roll and Write.
Yeah. So this is us breaking into the roll and write game with the Imperial Settlers line. So Imperial Settlers is one of our popular evergreens, one of our main games, one of our main staples. And
now you're pairing it with a very kind of hot.
Yeah, and it works
trend
really well.
in gaming.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the whole thing about this is it is a roll and write game, but it was able to retain the engine building portion of Imperial Settlers extremely well. So to give a base overview, you have dice that you're rolling. Those are going to be your resources. And these aren't the dice that will be in the game. These are, we wanted to get some really big dice so that it's easier to show off at
But they'll be more like normal sized dice.
Yeah,
Okay.
but much prettier than this. So you are basically building walls and huts and granaries and bridges to get access to different fields. Every time you cross something out, that's an action.
Yes.
And
Would this be one player sheet right here?
Yeah, so this is a
Okay.
player sheet, and this is going to be a player sheet as well. So you'll have two. This is going to be the Empire sheet, where you keep track of the score. You can have your notes section,
Right.
name your empire, you collect your points here,
Right.
and this is your buildings. So this is where the engine building comes in, that every building is going to either generate you an ability or more resources. And then you will in turn use those resources to further expand and build out. And in the base game, there's two modes. So there's a base game, and there's an advanced kind of variant. In the
Yes.
base game, you just build these buildings, and you'll get the abilities that they state. In the
And
advanced,
is that kind of the trade-off that like building these gives you abilities, whereas working over here gives you more direct points? So it's like a trade-off if I...
Well, some of these actually give you points
As
too.
well?
So for
Okay.
example, here you can cross off adding wood and stone to build a fortress, and that'll get you 3 points. You'd log this down here.
Okay.
So there is a lot of options. It's that true engine builder where you have all these resources and you choose where you want to apply them, and then it's up to you to see if that'll work out well for you.
Right.
You know, this is an engine builder. When last night I was playing,
Yes.
and I said, okay, round 6 is when I'll pivot. But then I got to round 6, I said, let me upgrade the tool shop one more time, and then it was just too late.
Oh, really?
By
Yeah,
round 10 came around, and I
Points
lost.
ran away from you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
points ran away from me. I should have just pivoted a little bit earlier. But in the advanced mode, and I have this actually to show. So this is what the game will look like after basic mode. So you'll have the rightmost spaces crossed out. You'll have some of the harvest spaces crossed out, and everywhere that you manage to build a bridge. But in the advanced mode, you'll notice you have these shapes right here.
Yeah.
So you'll actually highlight these shapes from the areas you've crossed out, and that'll actually upgrade your building. So now that you see here, the tool shop was upgraded twice, so now I gain +3 of that resource of that kind. So you have choices how you upgrade these buildings to actually build up that engine a little bit more.
So when you complete a building, you then outline that shape amongst the ones that you actually have crossed off in here.
And the shapes, you can't rotate the shapes. It's very balanced.
Interesting, okay.
So you're going to be limited to what you can actually build. It's called building a settlement. So besides those two base modes, Ignace, because Imperial Settlers is such a popular solo game,
Right.
and because just it's so satisfying to figure out the optimal strategy for the buildings you have to create that most optimal engine, we have this, which is...
And what is this?
This is going to be another booklet that comes inside the game. 48 sheets. Each one of them is completely unique.
Okay.
So every single one of these is a whole new set of 6 buildings, and this is adventure mode. So it's like a solo mode you can go through to try to optimize each one of these building sets, try to get the high score, and we will have multiple, we'll have these available to purchase individually. So for example, for me, I'm going to have 2 of these, and we're going to go for this adventure mode together.
Right.
Me and my wife do a 2-player, kind of going through each one of these sheets separately. So you'll have
Okay.
48 of these sheets for
Yes.
the base game and the advanced mode, and you'll have 48 of these sheets, which are all completely
And then enough of
unique.
these for both? like the equal.
Yep, exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
So
You also have these pieces here.
so this is
These will be tiles, I think, in the final game.
yeah,
Is that right?
they're going to be tiles, and the active player will basically go through and choose one of these, and that'll give them some kind of benefit, and then it'll go clockwise, and then it'll go right back to the middle after the turn, and then the next active player will get first dibs.
I had a chance to go through the rules on this earlier, and I thought it was kind of interesting because there are a variety, like you said, when you're playing advanced mode, you have this to think about. You're trying to power up abilities potentially to help you. You've got point collection here, and then, as you said, when you create bridges, you get to circle them off here to allow you to get access to these, which are more goods.
Yep, and then you have some of these
And then these should
abilities
help,
that will make harvesting these a free action. So then do you go for this? You'll have a tool shop, which makes every time you harvest, you gain more. So you really have a lot of options, and it's a true engine builder in the sense that you have so many choices where you're going to focus
Right.
on.
And I have to say, I particularly like this little section of the rulebook here where it says our home rules.
Yep.
Write them down here so no one can say, that's not in the rulebook. Pretty clever.
Yeah.
And so when is this going to be available?
This is coming out. The street date is June 20th. So
June 20th? And how many can it play at a time?
4.
4. Okay, so 4 player, June 20th. And thank you so much for
for
giving us an
having me.
overview of this game. And
Sure.
all of you, thanks for watching. Excellent. Thank you, Luke.
Thanks so much.
Rodney, you should have said, leave those to discover
On your own. The solo rules. Sorry, don't show them that. Leave that to them to discover on their own. Looks like I might be doing a little tutorial video for this too. All right.
So let me go over here, and I think I've got a few more games for 1020.
Oh, we had you down for this one. Is there something else that you're showing?
Yeah, 1020.
Oh, 1020.
LA
We have
Finals.
Capstone. Yeah, we have Capstone on now. Yeah, okay, sure.
That out, and then we'll have time
Yes.
to set up Robin.
Perfect, perfect. You may. Oh, sure, yeah. Sure.
No, that one's tight too.
Is it, you getting a little fuzz or something?
Yeah, I was like one of them was loose.
Oh, sorry, everyone. But yeah, that one seemed to be okay, right?
Yeah.
Is it?
Is it? Is it maybe hitting my fabric here or something?
No, I was pretty sure it was on the guest.
Okay.
But it could also just be clipping to t-shirt woes.
Right. Hey, Clay. Good to see you. I caught you out of the corner of my eye quickly when I was running around the hall.
We're probably gonna, and we'll do the network up here. Okay. So can we zoom out a bit here, Derek?
Just want to finish throwing these guys on there.
That's probably good. A little more, Derek. Yeah. Let's call it there, and then
That way.
do that, and then Clay, you can just build the
That
here. I think
give us
that's-
enough.
I think that's close enough to be.
I'm not that good at building these things, man. I'm so bad at it.
Yeah, we got most of the work
Fun,
done.
though.
So I should play you then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah.
This makes me think of that game from the, what was it, 60s or 70s? Waterworks? Remember that?
Waterworks?
Remember that game at all? It's like an old, I think it was a Parker Brothers game. And I was really drawn to it because it's all about matching pipes up and something burst. Have you guys ever played that one?
Yeah.
Oh, you have?
grandparents had that when I was a kid.
Yes. Yeah, I think it was my older brother. Like 16 years older than I. He had it, and that's why I knew of it. Although
And my copy had little wrenches.
little metal wrenches or plastic wrenches. That's right. Exactly. Yeah, and I actually saw it the other day, like a brand new version of it. Like they'd repackaged it. They're selling it still. So.
They had that and then that old
Mealborn.
yes.
Neilborn. Ugh. That game makes me angry.
I loved the one that I played had the lime green card tray. I love that
Oh,
card
really? I never saw that. I don't
Yeah,
think.
that's what I had.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I do not know where that was at, but I would love to still have that card
I
tray.
mean, this is basically that game, really.
Pretty much.
Nah, I don't think so. I think the rule set for like Waterworks is like a half a page.
You want to know what's surprising? On
What's
this?
that?
So the whole booklet itself is 12 pages, including
Oh, no
the
way.
cover, but the actual density of the rules
Yes.
is 4 pages.
Wow.
For this.
So like examples and pictures and things like that taking up the rest?
Yeah, it's
That's
just
exciting.
Like the end game scoring
Yep.
cards and like
Sure
the
how they work in
upgrades.
that. Right,
Yeah,
right,
it's
right.
like this is one of those games where it's super deep, but the rules are like that's it.
Well, I was
the
really
rules.
glad to see you in my slot because I've been quite curious about this game. So
man.
I'm going to get a little personal overview here at the same time as you all are.
This isn't shown. Okay, I'll just display these upgrades.
Yeah, if you ever.
These are my kid as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Mic me up.
And you've got another game after this, right? Yes. Chinese.
If we have
Zodiac.
time,
Yeah, yeah.
but you know, if it doesn't fit, it's fine. This doesn't take
Well,
that long, so we'll see.
Short and succinct is always best. So,
So, yeah, just really on your yeah, got the polo.
although no, yeah, like that will work.
Is it too close at all?
No, that's probably. Well, you know
Make
what?
sure you're not rubbing the button.
That's the only problem here.
You just lost it.
That's probably okay. It's probably okay.
Okay, that's terrible.
Alright, take care, guys.
Bye.
See you later, John.
I just want to make sure I got one too. Yes. Okay.
All right.
All right, guys.
How you feeling? Think this is all set up and ready to
As
go?
best as we can do
Yeah,
for
yeah.
the table space.
No, you've done really well. Seriously. I know you got a big,
Thanks.
big table set up here. Bless you, sir. You only get one blessing, not one. You squandered.
We're too far apart.
Did you see there's a new Endgame trailer today for Marvel's?
Yeah, and
Endgame?
as usual, it's basically just a bunch of old footage with a new film.
Which I was glad for. There's not really any spoilers. There's a few new scenes in there, but mostly just, it was almost like I said, it was going to roll before the movie. Be like, previously on The Avengers.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's pretty good. I'm pretty excited.
Um,
April 26th, coming soon.
Yeah, you are good to go whenever you're
All right, we're good to go.
Yeah,
Are
let's
you good
do
to go?
this.
You look good to go. All right.
Yeah, we're ready to rock.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Rodney. I'm here with BoardGameGeek. And I'm also here with Clay from Capstone Games. We're going to talk to you all about Pipeline. Well, he is. I don't know anything about it. Please tell me all about that. I'm very
Yeah.
curious.
So this is a game by Ryan Courtney, first-time designer, and artwork with Ian O'Toole. Ryan brought some really good design talent to this game, and very low rules overhead, but some deep gameplay.
Yeah, you were
And
saying earlier the rule book, although it's like something like 12 pages.
it's just 12 pages.
There's
yeah.
actually 4 pages of the actual rules. So
Yes.
this is like reference stuff and pictures and things.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We've got some upgrades and end-game scoring cards, just like more of like an appendix on the rules.
Right.
So it's you read the rules and you're like, wow, the rules are going to get out of the way. So,
Okay,
pretty
excellent.
cool.
Well, how does this work? What's the general idea?
So the theme of this game is the government is getting out of the oil business because this center board here represents the government's refinery network. How unorganized.
That
is
doesn't
this?
look very good.
No, it's very messy, and
Okay.
so that's what this represents. And it's the demands for oil refinement have gone through the roof. So over the course of, we're going to play through 3 game years, the government's going to get out of this business and privatize it. So you as the player are going to start your own company and do a lot better job than the government has done at refining the oil
All right.
and creating your own network.
In theory, we're going to do better.
Yes,
Okay.
your first try, you're probably going to be like, wow.
Okay.
So, but yeah, so over the course of 3 years is what we play.
Yes.
Each year, the number of turns you take is reduced because it's an engine builder.
Right.
So by that 3rd year, there's only 4 turns.
But you're doing a lot more? Is that the idea?
You're
Kinda
just
hum along?
So I guess this game is it's got a nice tile laying aspect to it, but it's built upon an economic system. So obviously most money is going to win this game, but those last 4 turns, you are cranking out so much money because of
Okay.
your network's built up, and you can really make a lot of cash on the high valued oil. So, but yeah, so I guess how you play this game, it's an action selection. You've got this grid of different actions to take on your turn. You can take any action. Just because another player's there doesn't mean that you can't take it.
Okay.
So if I wanted to go there, I could go to the crude market and buy some oil.
Right.
There's some other markets down here. But what you're doing is, again, you're building up your network. The first year.
So you're building your own private tile set over here?
Yes,
Is that the idea?
correct. And these quadrants, I won't explain how it happens, but
Yeah.
as the government goes out of this business, these are going to be grabbed up by the players and purchased. And then you can literally take these tiles and buy them on your turn, and this is where the fun comes in, where
Okay.
you can like start making out and improving your network, connecting these lines as they interweave together.
And are you trying to match like things? Is that
Yeah.
better than, because I noticed we have like that seemed like a very good one for the silver pipe, and we got the silver one running into.
Exactly.
The
So,
lower
what is the purpose of doing this?
Yeah.
There's 3 different types of oil, and each oil has
Oh, okay.
4 different grades.
Yep.
So it starts off as crude, and then it can be refined up to low grade, mid, and then finally high grade. High grade is going to give you a lot more money than the various types of low grade
I
oil.
see. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So how do you get to that high grade level? These are the refinement requirements up here, and these will be randomly set up during the game, so you can see before you start playing what's kind of attractive. So for example, on this silver pipe, to go from to go from crude to low grade, it requires a length of 4.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah.
As an action on your turn, you
Right.
can choose to refine your oil. So we look at your pipe network. If I choose this tile to refine, actually, I'm going to go this route.
Okay,
here.
sure.
So what you do is you take your person and you put them on a tile, and every single pipe that's running through that tile will operate, and that will be your turn.
Gotcha.
Okay. So how this works is,
So placing here, you're operating both of these pipelines. Is that right?
yeah. So this pipe, this orange one, which happens to run into itself. So really we're going to do 2 operations here. So the first one, we'll do the silver. It is a length of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 segments.
Yep.
So to go from low to mid, I'm sorry, to go from crude to low grade,
Yeah.
it requires 4. But in my player board here, you've got the different grades of oil. I've already got a...
Oh, this is the tanks. You're filling the tanks up here.
Yes,
Is that the idea?
absolutely.
Okay, I get it. All right.
And you can improve your tank farm by purchasing them through a different action. But
Right.
the crux is really refining it. So if you look to go from low to mid grade, you'll see you need a length of
Right.
5,
Yep.
which is exactly what we have there. So this automatically jumps up to mid grade. Now we look at the other pipe network. We've got this long orange one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
You did pretty good there.
Yeah. So
Yeah, okay.
we can take this crude orange and jump it all the way up to mid grade, because the total would be 9 and we
Yes.
have 10.
Okay.
So this jumps all the way up to mid grade.
And I guess this is where you want to upgrade so you have more tanks. Is if you're trying to go up there again, you've got nothing.
Exactly. You
Bump
need the
into.
tanks to do
Okay.
it. But that's the turn. So
Yeah.
like, and then the next players would go, then we move. I mean, obviously this is like mid-game setup here, but the turns are fast. Like you do one thing, and that first year you have 8 actions, but it seems like a lot, but that's where you really need to build your infrastructure, because as the years goes on, you don't have as many turns.
Right, and then and how do you get money out of these tanks?
So a different action would be to go to the refined markets.
Yep.
You can sell here.
Right.
So if I went to refined market 1 would be a good idea. I could sell this one, this mid-grade, for $40, and then this mid-grade for $45. So I would get the
And you get the money, and money's how you win, right?
Yes.
So we've kind of seen in a way almost start to finish the flow of what you're trying to do
Exactly.
with this oil and then sell it and make
money. We have contracts that you
Right.
can fulfill every year. These can hurt you if you don't fulfill the contracts.
Aha.
By the end of the year, you get penalty cubes. There's a big negative scoring. Orders are one-shot deals. You have to have all of the requirements to fulfill the order.
At the time?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And that's a free action.
Yeah.
So there's various ways to do it. One thing I do want to mention before we wrap it up, the machines.
Yeah.
So as you play this game, my first few times playing it with Ryan, I never could see how you could use a machine. And this is where the depth of the playthroughs come through. And these are very powerful, because one action is to actually run your pipes. That takes a whole turn. If you have a machine on your tile, it's going to reduce the length, because it has to go over the top.
Right.
But at the end of your turn, you can do something else, and at the end of your turn, you can pay $15, and it turns on all of your machines, and it automatically runs everything connected to it.
Oh,
so
wow.
it's like a free, I mean, you got to pay to do it.
Yeah, yeah. But instead of taking a full action to do that, you can do something else, spend the money, and then run
your
pipes again.
That's where your engine starts really cranking out. If you've got contracts, then you can start fulfilling orders, gaining a lot of money as the time goes on.
So is this a game that's available now or coming soon, or what's the
We
plan for
are
release?
releasing it at Origins. This is going to be our Origins release. It's almost done. It'll be on a boat.
It looks almost done.
Yeah, this is the pre-production copy. It's not, the colors aren't as vivid as what it's going to be when the mass production is done, but it's pretty much there.
Okay.
So.
Well, this is something that interests you. Make sure to keep an eye out for that. Clay, thanks so much for giving us an overview.
Absolutely,
Really appreciate
Rodney.
it. And all of
Thank
you, thanks for watching. Wow. I really just wanted to keep asking you questions about the game because I just personally wanted to know more.
Thanks.
Please keep teaching me more about this game. Yeah, that looks really good.
Yeah, it's super straightforward with how the. Am I going next?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Okay. You guys are awesome. Thanks for setting that up.
You're awesome, Clay. That was really good overview. I like that.
I had some inside knowledge about this one. It's not
Look at
actually.
this, man. This is nice.
This is.
Did you just set this up, John?
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
It's technically more for the 4-player game, but you're not going to know that.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
this is
Oh,
the
I
4
see
player
that.
we
Yeah,
go
no,
with 3
no.
players
John, what a
fit.
consummate professional, eh?
Thank you, man. That's awesome.
You're in good hands
Try
here.
to set you up for a good downgrade. Anyway.
John's like, hey, Clay, do this and this and this. And everything.
Oh, I see you.
Oh, look, it's a
Okay.
great example I gave.
Who should I play as?
Way to go, John.
Oh, this is
like
awesome.
snake.
The snake?
Snake's pretty
Do we need to zoom it a little bit on the
yeah,
overhead?
yeah.
Like, we're cropping off these a little bit, I think, aren't we? That's good.
The one we want to see really is the wheel. That kind
wheel?
of shows you
Yeah.
some stuff.
Okay.
This is just the track to see who's closest to winning. But
If you pull the board a little bit towards you,
Yes.
okay.
the wheel will have a great feature on 2. So
Or we can maybe even move. Like, do you want to just push 2 because we got the overhead
Move
too.
2, yeah.
Just tilt 2 down. Would you mind, Chaz, that one right there, just so we can focus in on the wheel here. That would be good to go. I honestly don't know. The pipeline I knew a little bit about. This one I don't know.
Yeah, this
anything
is
about,
this
so.
is a lot of fun. Every single person I played it with, they say this was awesome.
Okay.
So does that look good?
But unfortunately, this is one you have to just play because you're gonna be like, what? Like
You need to get that first game under your belt to
the
see how
first few-
everything
you gotta
comes
play.
together. Yeah.
John, would you say you gotta play some turns of this to really see how it
was mind
clicks?
bending to try and play 4 players. at the
Thank
same
you.
time.
That and it was impressive, man. And how you scripted it too to like flow like. That was awesome.
He's good, right?
He's really good at that.
All right. Are we ready? I think we're ready.
Wait, just
Okay. No worries.
I thought it was only one game. So I had
It's
to
okay.
Remake the graphics.
Oh, we need some energy cards here.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Yeah, this will be fine. I got something we can do here. I'm actually gonna.
Yeah, if you want to change anything, feel free.
I'm gonna cheat a little bit here. Where are we at on the wheel with this one? Okay.
Oh,
Can if I do this, can you
you
guys?
flip the
I'm gonna
screen
focus
around?
on this right here. Just
Yeah,
as an
we're
example.
gonna here. Look, we got this one. Right, see that camera there?
Okay, this is
That's-
good. So you
that's
guys
good.
can see these.
Yeah, yeah.
This is. I'm gonna focus
And it's
on
not,
that part.
you know, it'll be in 4K or 1080,
Okay.
so it'll be nice and sharp.
It's my go-to when I demo it to retailers. This quadrant and this card.
Okay.
Every time.
We good?
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
All right, we're good whenever we're ready.
Yeah, let's
Okay,
do
let's
this.
do it. All right.
Let's jump in.
Hi everyone, I'm Rodney. I'm here with BoardGameGeek. I'm also here with Clay from Capstone Games. You got another game for us here. This is the race for the Chinese Zodiac.
Yes,
All right.
absolutely. You're the pig, so.
Can we do that again so I don't stumble over the title?
Sure.
That's my bad.
No, just such a long lead in with all the.
Race for the Chinese.
Is-
I know, dude.
I'll just say, and what have you brought with you? That's what I normally do. And
No,
I
you
feel a little
can't
more
pass that
ambitious.
off
I feel
on
a little
me.
more ambitious today.
Chinese Zodiac.
Oh.
Should have known my limits.
Oh, you got it? No.
All right, all good?
What a guy. What a guy. Sorry.
Is that good? Okay. Hi everyone, I'm Rodney. I'm here with BoardGameGeek and also Clay from Capstone Games, and you brought a game with you. What is this one?
This is Race for the Chinese Zodiac, and it came out from the designers of Three Kingdoms Redux, if you're familiar with that game.
Another game in your lineup, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is more of a family-friendly racing game based on the Chinese Zodiac.
Okay.
So, do you know your Chinese Zodiac off the top of your head?
I know a couple things, but not,
Yeah.
no, not off
Like
top
the
of my head.
animal or anything?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm...
Oh, I don't know what I am. No,
Okay.
sorry.
I was born in '87, so I'm the rabbit, and whatever year you're born in, it'll coordinate with one of the cards there. You can choose to play with that or not,
neat.
but every animal, there's all the 12 animals in the game, and they each have their own unique ability to help you out in the race. So what you're trying to do is reach the Heavenly Palace here, and that would be signifying you as the first animal of the new Chinese Zodiac.
Okay, so we're
calendar.
following this track.
Yep.
Up to here, got it.
ravines through some land, and then you get into some water, and then you finish at the finish line.
Got it.
First person to break to the finish line wins the game.
How do we do that?
All right, so this game is pretty unique with this wheel, and it's a card-based game, so it's simultaneous card play. Turns are really quick.
Okay.
So how this works is every player is going to have a hand of 8 action cards. Some of them, we're kind of like doing like a mid-game
So
situation.
you've already played. Some have already been played out here from your hand.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're lacking some energy cards below this, but just wanted to show you more of the different types of action cards that are out there to choose from. So on your turn, you're going to take any one energy card that you want to play. This is not an energy card. This is an action card. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
that's all right.
But you're gonna pick one, and you're gonna assign a value of energy to it. I like it because you're gonna do an action, but how much energy do you want to devote to doing that action? Now that's up to you based on the hand of cards you have.
Right.
Energy ranges from 1 through 6. You start off with some lower, like 1s and 2s.
Yep.
So you can build up over the course of the gameplay. So for example, let's just assume the snake here chooses this combination. So what you do is you choose an action card and an energy card, and you put it face down. And all the players will do the same thing. Once everybody's ready, you reveal. Okay?
All right, so this is the energy of 2 we're applying to this
on
action?
that card.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So everybody would do the same. Let's just pretend we're just gonna just show you how 2 players would interact together.
Yeah.
This, like, let's say the rat plays this card with some other energy.
Okay.
This is not really in this demonstration here, but
Sure.
Okay. So once you reveal, there's a karma payment if you've done some things. I'm not really going to go into that. Karma is a resource for you to kind of bend the rules a little bit. But after the karma payment's been done, you're going to resolve all the actions that were played in numerical order. Okay, so the first one is cheat here. And you're going to look at the total energy that was played amongst all players that played cheat.
All right,
Which is
3. Right,
Yep.
okay.
So that's where this wheel comes into play. And this is so neat how this works. All 6 actions, there's 2 other actions that you have. 7 and 8 don't really correspond to the wheel.
Okay.
But so the primary 6 will correspond to this wheel. So we find cheat, it's over here. And the total energy that was played by the players is 3, so we fall into this quadrant.
Yes.
And the outer wheel number is 4. So this number is going to correlate back to the actual card, which says the individual highest energy gains movement from the wheel. The movement in this case is 4.
Okay, gotcha. So
which
your
would
piece
be,
would move?
Yeah, so the snake is the individual highest energy, so the snake moves 4.
Right. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep.
Okay.
All other players lose a movement.
Oh,
So
all right.
that would be the dragon would
Yeah.
go down 1.
Okay.
Yep. And then there's also
All the players who
yes.
use cheat, is that right?
Yes, all
Yeah.
players that have played cheat.
Okay.
So the rat is not playing that; he's doing something
Right.
different. But it's about trying to figure out what the players are doing, because sometimes you want to team up and play the same action together. So you're kind of like, hey, let's cooperate, and we can get a little big bonus movement. But you're gonna have the people like, yeah, sure, I'll play it.
But they
totally.
won't really do
yeah.
it? Yeah.
Yeah. So after all the actions are resolved, there's some bonus movement you get if you've played the same action. Because the snake beat the dragon in the energy, the
Yep.
snake also moves an additional movement because of that. Then we rotate the wheel 1 space. So now all the effects of the actions.
Everything's changing every
is
time.
changing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So your first few plays, you're kind of like getting your feet wet, understanding what the actions do and how they correlate with each other. Then as you kind of make this, like we find when you make this turn, that first turn, you've got that figured out. Now you're planning for the wheel. Okay, I see walk is coming up for a 3 if we play a low energy. Maybe I'll hold off on playing walk this turn, and then the next turn I can walk, and maybe I'm the only person that does it, and I get that
Yes.
3
You get
movement,
the bonus,
like
right,
sneak it
okay,
in
yeah,
there,
yeah.
kind of thing. So you're playing the wheel, you're really interacting with the players and seeing what they're doing. The reason why these cards are so large, they're 7 Wonders size,
Yes.
is because you want to see what other people are doing to really try to mess with them. So it's
To see
all
what
about
they
the
might
player.
be going for and so forth.
Yeah.
Okay.
And some advanced strategies. This card strategizes how you get all of your cards back. Because now that we've played this card, our hand is reduced. We only have these actions to choose from.
So do you always start with the same hand? Like
Everybody
the same,
starts.
So that's why I can look at the board and go, I know what you have left.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, I see.
And that's where some meanness can come into play. Because with strategize,
Yes.
for example, he's the only one that plays it, so he's going to get all of his cards back. However, if multiple people play strategize,
Right.
like for example, this happened.
1 energy under here.
Yeah,
Okay.
so the snake he's the highest energy, so he's going to get all his cards back. But the rat played a lower energy.
Yeah.
All of his cards come back except for that first one and the first energy assigned to it. So
Okay.
this is locked in still.
Yes.
So
And if you really wanted
see
that, then you're
people,
like, oh, do I have to do that action again
Yeah.
just to try to get it back?
and it's a race game, so you're
Okay.
like every turn is like,
Counts.
do I really want to? Do I want to get more karma? Maybe I want to get some more energy cards, or do I just want to beeline for the finish line and try to make it?
So it seems pretty easy to teach and learn. That just comes
Yeah.
down to how do you play it well. Is that the idea?
Yeah, it's very interactive. It's a lot of fun. The retailers have really enjoyed the demonstrations that we've been doing, so I'm really excited.
Well, this
for
is going to catch your attention right away, too,
Yeah,
right? At
it's
the table. It's like
so innovative
yeah.
how that works, and I absolutely love that mechanic.
And how many people can play?
This goes from 3 to 5.
3 to 5?
Yeah, so this is showing the 3 and 4 player version.
Yes.
On the back of this is a 5-player version of the outer wheel.
Okay.
So
And
very.
how long does it take to play?
About 40-45 minutes.
Okay. And last question.
Yes.
One more thing to grill you about. When's it available?
This is coming out at Gen Con.
Okay. Gen Con release?
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is still prototype form you're seeing here. This is not
Wow.
finalized
This is
at
a really
all.
good looking prototype.
Thanks. Yeah.
Okay.
Factory partner that we use
Yes.
does a really good job at
Yeah, I see
prototypes. Yeah. Even the little meeples there.
Well, excellent. Well, look, if you enjoyed seeing this, consider checking it out at Gen Con. And Clay, thank you so much for showing this.
Yeah,
All
absolutely,
right.
Rodney. Thanks,
All right.
man.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Very cool. This is part of your Simply Complex line, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, so for those watching the stream, I'm sure you know, you know, Capstone Games has done a lot of heavier style games.
Like Pipeline.
Yeah, yeah. But this is Pipeline sitting in that heavier banner.
It's interesting with that because it's in the Capstone banner, but I'm interested to see what people are going to say, like how, because the rules, I'm telling you, will get out of the way immediately. But it's all about the play.
I guess this is
No, it's all good, man.
People they're not going to know what's going on. Yeah. So this looks cool. All right, everybody.
I don't know what your plans are with Pipeline, but I'd be interested potentially.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've
I know we talked about it, and I was like, well, I don't know, maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
So.
Do you ever want to? I don't know if you want the rule book or anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd be interested if you is the PDF already out there, or you just have it now? Yeah.
It's out there.
Okay. Well, I'll take a look at it because I was drawn to it. I thought it looked really cool. Yeah.
Appreciate that. So,
All right.
Rodney.
Enjoy the rest of the show. Hopefully, I'll see you around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks so much, guys, for doing that. I appreciate that.
How's it look on the overhead there, Derek? Does it seem okay? Wow.
You got it, man.
Wow. What are we looking at here? Wow. Wow. Wee. Wow. Oh, this is the Lost City of Z.
I don't know where to put this.
I'll take it. So I'll just take the lid off.
We can just do like a big shot if everything fits, maybe?
Yeah, overhead we've got a
Zoom out a smidge.
pretty decent one.
John is so much better at setting everything up to look beautiful. I was watching.
He's done it a couple times.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think we're good enough now. This is really just trying to show. This one?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well,
And then
no one will
throw
be able to see that
microphone back
anyway.
on there, Luke.
What's that?
Go ahead and throw that microphone back to the same spots.
So it's just going to be 10 minutes of lots of Portal, because then we've got LA Crimes coming up, and just a few other announcements just to kind of...
Should we break that up into sections, guys? We've got
So this is probably only going to be a quick pan overview, like 2-3 minutes.
the catches. What's the next? Yeah.
LA Crimes.
Probably do that in 2 different videos just for the sake of pinning it
Yeah, definitely.
on the game pages. You know what I
I
mean?
want to talk about just Portal Digital.
Yeah, that could be like
at the
on
end of this one.
stream.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be more of like a thing for the stream, I would say. Excuse me.
Whenever you're ready. So you're on.
All right. All right, Luke.
Yeah.
All set?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Rodney. I am here with Luke from Portal Games. I heard an inhale. Was that?
Yeah, that was me, sorry.
Did we need to stop?
No.
Oh, I thought that was a silent signal to me, like, Rodney, his name is not Luke, it's Drew.
He was just trying to stay alive
Yeah,
over
yeah.
here by breathing.
Okay, oh, okay.
I was
I guess.
just breathing, Rodney.
I can't work in these conditions.
Well, last year Eric made
I'm
the
gonna go all
mistake.
Christian Bale on you.
Last year Eric tried to made the mistake of trying to pronounce my last name. He thought he was clear with Ignatz not being here. And
Yeah.
He said, "This is Luke Otfinowski." So,
It's hard, man.
Sorry, Derek, I guess you can breathe occasionally, it's fine. All right, let's try this again. Are we all good?
Yeah, we're good.
All right. Hi, everyone, I'm Rodney. I'm here with BoardGameGeek and Luke from Portal Games. Luke, what have you brought with you here?
So I brought Mystery Tales, long awaited. Everyone's really excited about this. This is the
Expansion
next
for
big
Robinson
expansion
Crusoe.
for Robinson Crusoe.
Right.
Exactly. So I just kind of threw a lot of stuff out here
There
for
is a lot
everyone
of
to
stuff.
see.
Is this everything?
There's a lot more in the box.
Oh, wow.
But
Okay.
basically, what you have here is 2 things. So you have an epic campaign, massive sprawling campaign with an entire logbook of event triggers that happen throughout the game and things for you to solve, a campaign book of multiple scenarios for you to go through in different mechanics for every campaign. Something in here that I'm not going to show because that's
Secrets envelope.
Secret envelope. New components, new tiles, new characters. You have these character grids with places to tuck in your health
Right.
cube and your sanity cube, because now in this game, sanity is a big component, big new mechanic, because it's a horror type campaign.
Right.
So you arrive on this island to find the missing explorer Colonel Fawcett, and you start seeing weird things happening. So besides the sprawling campaign, we also have all these components that then go into the base game for something called horror mode. So, for example, you'll have a
okay.
scenario here
Yeah.
that says horror mode only.
Yes.
This is the only one, but then another extra scenario for the base game. And then components from this and rules from this are going to be able to be applied to the base game. So
Gotcha.
you'll be able to play Castaways, where now collecting wood for a signal a passing ship becomes much more interesting because there's different things happening on the island. So you have items, new characters. You see items like revolvers and ammos and field tents, and you have creatures like werewolves and secrets of alchemy and conditions that will start afflicting characters and overlays. So a lot of content here.
Yeah, I can
dive
see
into.
some things that are kind of look like unique things. We can't get into all the mechanics.
Sure,
here,
no,
but it
of
looks
course
like there's some additional mechanics that this game is going to introduce, right? Just from some of the icons I'm seeing around the different
Yeah,
things.
exactly. So it's more than just what you get in the expansion. It's a fresh take on the base game.
Okay, so this, and is this a standalone, or do you need the original
No,
game?
yeah, you need the base
original
game.
game, and then you can play this campaign, but you can then mix in with the base game
Yep,
to play some of the
exactly.
more traditional scenario
Yeah,
type
all
things.
those original
Okay.
scenarios now are going to be a little bit more fresh.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So when is this going to be available?
This is going to be at the end of March. Sorry, at the end of April. We're actually going to be
Still
starting.
pretty soon?
Yeah, at the end of March, we're going to be, beginning of April, we're going to be starting the pre-orders just to get the word out on these. And this is going to street date April 25th.
Okay, excellent. Thanks so much for sharing that with us,
Yeah, of
Lou.
course.
Lots here to see. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. All right. Very cool. Well played. Well played.
And so for everyone watching on the live stream, we do have the Tides of Time app coming out.
Oh,
So
right. I have it.
Yeah, there you go.
I got a little early access
Portal
to it.
Games
Look forward to playing
Digital got into that.
Yeah.
So that's exciting, and we're doing a lot of other things with Alexa, and I'll touch base on that a little bit with this as well.
Sure, yeah. I saw Suze from the Dice Tower. She was playing the Tides of Time app. I only got to look at it. I have it, but I haven't opened it up to play
Sure.
yet. But it's one of those games I've featured on the channel.
Yeah.
But I really enjoy and haven't had a chance to.
Your mic is just starting to sag a little bit. So
Oh yeah. Slide.
starting to get more room than you.
Okay. Is that a little better? How's that? Oh, you know what? I can see myself in the mirror here. This is perfect.
Oh yeah, this is great.
How's that? Any better?
We never even covered it up. Nobody's been paying attention. We're too busy to worry about it.
There's been a mirror this whole time, hasn't there? And I just have never.
We just.
Oh, we were worried it would be a
about
distraction.
I know.
And then nobody even looked.
Now it will be.
All vampires.
We brought it up to you.
How's that look? Maybe we can zoom in. Oh yeah.
I am sure.
Here, do you want to throw it to me?
Oh,
Here we go,
I
here we go.
okay, I hit the main
Yeah, of
camera.
course.
I'll touch the main camera. It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, I can almost do this bit myself. If you want to leave the remote here, because I can just do it.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
That's actually a really good idea.
Well, the problem is
We-
like when we want to zoom.
We almost
in,
never do it, though, right?
Sometimes I
Okay.
do when somebody brings something
Okay.
that's highly detailed.
Okay. We have two of those remotes, though, right?
We do. I don't know. I can give you the other one. It's probably easier to use directly underneath.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
the one that wasn't tuned to
Just for most of the setups. Oh, this one's hard to spin.
Careful with that one.
There we go.
Good run.
How are we doing for time? Are we on time? Have I dragged us way behind time?
Under budget. 10.
Oh, we're still doing good.
We're doing great. 10
We
minutes
started
in.
early, remember?
We did high fiving you.
Oh, me.
It's all right.
That's gonna get memed, I'm sure.
Look,
Yeah,
who's
Rod,
he
you're looking away
signaling
at me
to?
like, always
Okay,
alone.
so finish, Chad. Something that-
Okay. All right, I think we're good. Are we good?
Make sure.
Whenever you're ready, Ryan.
Sure thing. All right, all good?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Rodney. I'm here with BoardGameGeek, and we're also here with Lou from Portal Games. And you brought something with you, a smaller box. This is
Smaller
an
box.
expansion for Detective, I think.
It
right?
is, yeah. So this is the very first expansion for Detective. Detective has been a phenomenal game for us last year. Extremely well received. People have still sent us pictures after pictures of just how far they're going into the immersion with cork boards and yarn and playing in giant conference rooms with projectors throwing the Antares database.
I've seen those too.
online.
Those people are playing it right,
Yes,
jumping right into
yes,
the theme. I think it's really cool.
So
Yeah.
we're continuing the game now with our very first expansion, LA Crime. So
Okay.
it is the year of Detective. We have Mike Selinker and Rob Davio signed on for the Signature series, so they'll each be doing a standalone case. We have Amazon Alexa integration, where Case 6 is now going to be a form of a radio drama, just to make the game a little bit more approachable for the non-gamers. They can just, if anyone with an Amazon Alexa can talk to her, and if they have the base game or sometimes even without, just to play around with it. They can just dive into it and kind of experience a little bit of it and see what it's like.
So what kind of interaction are you providing? Yeah,
So-
this is through the Alexa on Amazon products?
Yeah, pretty
okay.
much. It's going to be a free case 6.
Yeah.
That's our kind of demo case.
Yeah.
And it's going to be, overall, we're launching Portal games on Alexa.
Yeah, I've seen
so
this.
all of our games are going to be rule integrated with Alexa.
Right.
So you can ask her questions. So with this, it's, I want to interview the neighbors. And then you hear the sounds of footsteps knocking, dogs barking, and Alexa will say, a woman approaches the door. And it's kind of this really fun, immersive way of going into it, something a little different. But here, we're talking about LA crimes.
Right.
So this
Los
is
Angeles,
yep,
I assume, yeah.
80s Los Angeles,
Yeah.
drugs, corrupt cops, all of that, Beverly Hills type thing. Knots absolutely loves it. So it comes through really well in this game. So 3 new cases,
Yes.
new characters, and some new mechanics. So we're introducing working into the theme, this mechanic where stress now can become, you can exchange actions for stress when you're bending the law a little bit, when you're breaking the rules.
okay,
So
okay.
when you get to a crossroad, you make a decision, and there's going to be a mechanic on the card that says make a decision now. And you have to make a call. Do I break protocol a little bit and kind of do this, or do I, am I just going to go by protocol and do the right thing? And these options become available. In addition to stakeout options. So now you can have your fellow police officers, you can send them to stake out a location if you have the resources for it, and then you'll be able to maybe get some more information the next morning when you come in and start the next day.
So I guess there's going to be this temptation to play a little loose with the law because you're hoping you're going to get some major benefit.
Yeah,
right?
but if you have too much, you're accumulating stress by doing that.
Right,
So if you have too
right.
much stress, you're running the risk of losing the
Gotcha,
case. Yeah.
gotcha,
So,
yeah.
and further feeding into the integration, when we announced this theme, we heard, Antares database, it's sophisticated, it's high tech, you're doing all this DNA matching. There was, 80s didn't really have
No, that's right.
that resource.
Yeah.
So what are we going to do? What are we going to do? So I finally found out a couple days ago that we're working on the final stages, that when you click into the LA Crimes expansion, the screen goes DOS, so black with green prompting,
Oh,
and
very
you have
cool.
to kind of access everything that way. So it's much more, we're still able to keep that.
Bring that theme
same-
through again,
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Even in Antares. Okay,
Yeah.
very cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, this is coming at the end of March. It's March 28th is the street date. So yeah, people can already start reaching out.
And 3 cases in this box, right?
Yeah, 3
Okay.
cases is going to be, they're still really gritty. You still have a lot of time you're going to spend in these cases. And 3 cases rather than 5, it's easier to kind of get that core group staying around. And
Right,
you still have
the
to
full
take
thing.
notes.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
still have to make sure you're
And
giving
these
it
are
the
linked
time it
in the
needs.
same way?
Yep,
sort of the
they're all
time?
building, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're all going to, the story's going to change and adapt, and everyone's going to have a fantastic time with it.
Excellent. Well, Luke, thank you very much for the overview, and
Thank
all of
you.
you. Thanks for watching. Great.
Perfect.
Sounds
Thank you.
cool.
Yeah.
I like that they, that they changed Antares to kind of suit the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fun.
Perfect.
Until it shows the research, they give you a card catalog.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, comes with the game.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, you bet. Cheers.
Card catalog and a filing cabinet.
And a fedora. Hi, Chaz. Are you mic'd? You are.
I am indeed.
Excellent.
How is the morning going for you?
Good. Good.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Who do we have up next while we wait?
Upper Deck,
Is it
I
Upper
believe.
Deck?
Yes.
Okay.
And they will be with us shortly.
Okay. They're setting up. Cool. 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 Yeah. No, I'm doing good. I had a big sleep last night.
Yeah?
Big. I had
Yeah.
wasn't quite the big sleep, but I was about 12 hours.
Well,
12 hours.
well, a bunch of international travel back to back will do that. to
I
you.
thought I was fine, and then my body said, "No, you're not. Shut up. You go to sleep." Because I flew in from the UK to here, and I crossed a couple time zones, and I was feeling pretty good yesterday. But then it started to peter off pretty quick. So I'm feeling good now. The sleep definitely helped.
That's good. I'm almost good. I snuck a
You're almost
bag.
good.
I snuck a bag of trail mix during the last interview, and a peanut got lodged in my throat. So I've been standing over there going, trying not to cough this whole
This
time.
is deadly work we're doing here. You don't realize it all looks so easy, but it's like
Can't hold our, we can't.
can't even barely breathe in here. Eating peanuts will kill you.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Yeah. So I'm trying to wash that guy down. I could feel it going down my throat.
Yes. Well, still with us at least.
He was trying to inhale trail mix. He couldn't breathe, but he thought maybe I could.
He saw how angry I got over the breathing. He's like, boy, if there's any crunching,
Yeah.
Rodney's gonna lose it.
I better eat this like a duck.
How's everyone doing in the chat? Are you having a good day? What's happening?
Chat's not really buzzing.
No, quiet chat. That's fine. You don't have to. It's not your job to talk to us.
No.
We don't just watch and enjoy.
I think Joel Eddy laughed at my.
If you're still here, Joel. Hello, Joel. Miss you. Joel's running. I'm gonna plug Joel right now. You can't stop me. It's live. Joel's got a Kickstarter going right now, and you can find that online. He doesn't do Kickstarters every year. It's been like a 3-year gap. 2015 was the last time, and
he's doing it for a very specific purpose.
He's trying to upgrade his equipment a little bit.
His camera's like falling apart.
Yeah. So he's been getting some good support. So if you enjoy drive-through games and Joel Eddy, consider giving him your support.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I have yet. Sorry, Joel. I will.
Wow.
I know. I'm just realizing it because I thought to before I left on the trip, and then I'm on the trip, and he launched it while I was here, and I just kind of
I've
forgot.
pledged his Kickstarter 3
Twice.
times already.
All right. You're the better friend. Fine.
Oh, it's almost lunchtime. Better give Joel some more money.
Jazz.
That'll get a Peter out of your throat.
Yeah, that'll get Peter. I'll get on that. I will get on that. But see you later, Luke. Cheers. Great, it's going good.
All right, so Upper Deck is starting to set up. So
Yeah.
they will be usurping the code.
We've been playing some games, you and I. We've been playing the elevator game.
Yeah, Elevator Roulette, one of my favorite hotel convention games.
Do you want to break this down? I mean, it's... Yeah.
Okay, this will be, I have a...
To win.
Oh, I'm 0 for like 14. Oh, no, 15 now.
Oh, 15 now,
Yeah,
yeah.
0 for 15. So, a lot of these larger hotels, they'll have a whole bay of elevators.
Right.
Like here at the Peppermill, there's 6. And they have little lights that come on. And so...
As elevators do.
As
right?
elevators.
As all elevators
I guess
do.
all
Yeah.
of them, yes. They also have buttons that make them go up and down. So anyway, elevator roulette is simply when you get to there and none of the doors are open. You just hit your button and you try to guess which elevator doors are going to open.
Yeah.
And it's a lot more
That's
challenging.
sort of the whole rules, isn't it?
That's it. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Haven't been doing very well.
No, I haven't. And that's why I haven't been playing blackjack here either. Because
Do you play casino games? Are
are
you familiar with how to play casino games? Let's start with that.
let's back up even further.
Do you know what a casino
is?
is? Okay, sure.
No. Okay, so about 15 years or so ago, some friends and my family went on this big group trip down to Vegas.
Yes.
And it's like, we're going to play blackjack, we're going to do all the roulette, we're going to do all sorts of stuff. And the very first game I played was the big spinning wheel. I thought I would get in, and so you put down some money.
You mean like roulette?
No, it's a big wheel on the wall. It's like roulette except nothing at all like roulette.
Okay,
But
cool.
they spin. It's just this big wheel and it has like a little pointer. And whatever it comes at, if it matches, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. And if it matches what you put a bet on, you win something.
Okay.
So I'm sitting
Still
there.
sounds a lot like roulette, but okay.
Yeah. So I have my chips. I'm about to go, and this guy walks up, and he
Yes.
has these 20s, and he just goes stack. They spin the wheel, tack, nothing. Wipe. That guy goes and walks away. And I'm
And
saying
you went, huh?
yeah, that guy just lost like $500. Well, I'm not gonna. No, I can't do this. And so
Yeah.
I've never been able to really get into gambling since then.
I think the first time I ever did any kind of actual gambling was just a slot machine. It was the day before my wedding.
Oh yeah.
I went out with some of the guys, and I just sat down, had some coins. I put some money in, I hit the button, and I put a quarter, and a whole bunch of money came out.
Oh.
And I was like, this is amazing. I put a quarter, and all this money came out. And so I kept putting money in. They had to drag me away. So I was like, maybe I'm not cut out for this. Yeah. And we're good to go.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing your many weaknesses
Well,
with
listen,
me.
just I realized that wasn't for me. That wasn't for me. Although I did play.
Here comes the cane.
Yeah.
All right. Enjoy.
Thank you very much. All right. Oh, other way.
Yeah, if we could just, it's so small, we can also.
Shift them that. Yeah.
Or we can switch. Just he wants to talk about Bond first.
Yeah. Switching out's probably best. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because only one of them is going to be posted to BoardGameGeek.
Yeah.
The other one's live stream. Cool. So jump on in.
And let's just swap your lanyard so it doesn't.
Well, this one isn't. This is just informal.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So Rodney.
Oh, this is just.
Informal live stream only.
Oh,
chat
okay,
about
sure.
Bond. We can't show anything for
Oh.
it. And then after that, we're going to do an official Venom.
Yeah. Official Venom.
Still, we're not recording.
Trying to be.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
We're good at making it look that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's half the battle.
Well, you look professional. professional, but
Thank
you
you.
also keep it casual.
We're trying. That's what we're trying. Cool. And sorry, I don't have your name at all.
Cool. That's great.
What is your name?
I'm Bobby Johansson.
Bobby?
Yeah.
Hi, Rodney. Nice to meet you.
Too.
All right, so I guess we can just roll because we're always live. See, we're always live.
Always live.
So, tell me, you're from Upper Deck. What did you want to share with us today?
So, kind of debuting at the show today, or this week, I should say. We're kind of debuting legendary James Bond for the first time.
I saw the big sign.
Yeah. If you're here, you might have seen other things around the hall and things like that. But it's still very raw. So we kind of give it here for the first time for people that are attending the convention to kind of see it for the first time.
Right.
Most of the stuff isn't yet approved officially by the licensor.
Okay.
But we still want to get it out there because the goal is to have this thing to launch at Gen Con this year. So we want to start getting the word out, getting the buzz out.
So people online aren't going to see pictures and things yet.
Yeah, there might be some that get leaked out by people that walk by with cameras,
Right.
which is okay.
Yeah. Okay.
But we just kind of want to get that word out, get that buzz out, what's going with it.
So is this following the traditional Legendary, like the rule set, and
yeah, so
people
that,
familiar with Legendary will be
exactly.
familiar with
So that was one of the debates we had internally was Legendary or Legendary Encounters.
Right.
Because they both have their pluses and minuses with going through things. So talking about it internally, went with Legendary just because every Bond movie has a big villain at the end, big mastermind usually, and they have a kind of like some key villains in those sequences as well, and a scheme you have to overcome, and so we kind of thought that the Legendary mechanics fitted better. However, the game designers are Danny Mandel and Ben Chaikovsky, which is the designers of Legendary Encounters.
Okay.
So there's a little bit of a spin in that where the deck of the villains is constructed like the deck for Legendary Encounters. So it's kind of like a progressive story, as you will. So we wanted to make sure that it was kind of like scenario based. So within the game, you can play movies like Goldfinger, GoldenEye, Casino Royale.
Are you playing different Bonds as well?
Exactly. So we try to make sure that we have equal representation of the Bonds that are out there. And so the goal for the core set is to have 4 different scenarios across 4 different movies for the 4 key Bonds.
Okay.
So we're going to have hopefully Goldfinger, The Man with the Golden Gun, GoldenEye, lots of gold, and Casino Royale. To get the 4 key Bonds out
so
there.
even the most recent Bond as well.
Exactly,
cool.
exactly. And so there'll be 4 scenarios in each starter set, which is going to have, you can play through those movies in a kind of progressive way. And it's pretty thematic, pretty cool.
And sorry, when did you say you think it's going to be releasing? Or do you have
Gen Con.
Gen Con.
That's fingers crossed right
now.
So yeah.
Well, very cool. Well, thanks for sharing some information with us.
Absolutely, no problem.
All right.
So I'll have Travis come in, or
we'll talk
Tyler come in and talk about
Legendary Venom. All right, sounds good. You need to move this a little bit? No, this is what we're shooting now. Yeah. Tyler.
How's it going, Rodney?
Hey, it's going good, Tyler. Nice to see you.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, we're live, aren't we?
We're always live.
I remember the first time at Gen Con last year. I didn't realize that, and we're having a conversation, and I was like, oh, well, I guess if we're already live, then I've got nothing to be nervous about. They've already been watching me for a few minutes.
It's kind of nice, isn't it? You realize, hey, you're always live. In real life, you're always on.
Yeah,
People are always watching it.
Absolutely. But they like it live. They like it raw. Mistakes and fun stuff can happen.
Makes it more
that's the good.
real, right? Are we all good over there?
Just about. Just double
check.
You're Tyler, right?
Yes, that is me.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay, sounds good.
Cool. Okay.
All right, I'm going to introduce, and then we'll
Oh,
jump
okay.
right in.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. I'm Rodney. I'm here with BoardGameGeek, and also Tyler from Upper Deck. Sorry, is it entertainment or games?
Entertainment.
All right, let's do it again.
Okay.
I second-guessed myself. What's that?
At your leisure.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Rodney from BoardGameGeek. I'm also here with Tyler of Upper Deck Entertainment, and you've brought with you a small box, but I think it's got some big stuff inside of it, right?
Yes, it does. This is the Legendary Venom expansion.
Right.
This actually just released March 7th, so it's our latest one to come out. And a couple of cool things with this. First of all, we always build super thematic expansions. We really are big comic book fans, and we're big fans of Marvel, so we really bring that to the table with these expansions. This set is actually all original art done by the same people that are working on the current run of the Venomverse. So the art is actually coming from the comic book artists. Yes, and that's really the theme of this set is the Venomverse. So we're bringing in, those of you who are familiar with like the symbiotic bonding, that is a keyword in this one, and it runs through both the heroes and the villains. So we've kind of laid out the heroes that you'll be able to see here that you can play through.
Right.
Of course, there's the iconic Venom.
Yes.
We've got Carnage, which Venom and Carnage are pretty closely tied.
Yep.
Then we're also bringing in Venomized Doctor Strange, Venom Pool, and Venom Rocket.
Okay.
It's a really great set. and then Poison Thanos is one of the, Thanos is one of the tougher masterminds anyways. And
yeah, that's probably pretty terrifying too then, right?
Yes, and there's an epic version as well that just gets really out of hand. And then there's Hybrid, who's a little bit weaker, but it's if you're a fan of Legendary and you know the game, he's only a 6, which is half the strength of Thanos. But the cool thing is he is constantly bonding with other villains. So when a Master Strike comes out, if there's a villain in the city, it's going to bond with him and add their values together. So if it's like a henchman, he might be a 9, but if it's something stronger that's like a 6, now he's a 12.
I see.
And when you strike him, you don't get a Mastermind tactic, which normally you have to strike a Mastermind 4 times to win the game.
Right.
Well, if he's bonded, you only basically peel off the symbiote, and then you have to keep going out. Yeah, so there's a lot of strategy in how you're going to attack him.
At the end, potentially, but he's...
Or if you can
powering
clear
up
the
other
field.
stuff.
So if you clear the field and then strike him, he doesn't have anybody to bond to.
Okay.
However, that being said, his Mastermind tactics, 3 out of 4 will also cause him to bond with things like maybe from your victory pile, escaped villains, things of that nature. So you might have to potentially strike him 8, 9 times, even though he's weaker. Okay. So it can be a little bit challenging. There's also a scheme. We're not showing the schemes here just for space considerations, but we got 4 schemes in as traditional with any small box. And one of the standout ones for me is the Drained Mastermind. And the way that works is it actually allows you to play a second Mastermind. And anytime a scheme twist comes out, it'll actually trigger the Master Strike of that second villain and move a Master Strike tactic over. So it's a way to kind of face off against 2 Masterminds at once, which, for the people who really like a tough game, it's going to play well there. Yeah. The villains also are, again, it looks like heroes. So you've got like a Poison Captain America or a Poison Hulk.
Yep.
And when you fight them, they'll try to bond to other things. Essentially that represents thematically the suit trying to jump. But if you can, again, approach it tactically, you actually gain that hero instead to your deck.
Okay. And so, I mean, the Marvel Legendary line that you guys introduced many years ago now, I mean, this is something you guys have been supported. If someone's been into this game, they've gotten loads of options to
I
keep
believe
playing.
I believe Venom is the 18th expansion.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to share about this expansion? I think you just about covered it there.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
It's
available now, you said?
Available now, yeah.
Okay, excellent. Well, thank you so much for that overview of this expansion for Legendary.
Thanks, guys.
There we go. Excellent. I feel some other stuff in here.
Oh, that just for weight.
Yeah, that's good. Smart. Very clever. All right. Yeah, you bet.
Every 15 minutes, it stays live. Yeah, we just follow it.
It stays live. All right. So next we've got the Op. So USAopoly is now officially called the Op, is that right?
I believe that is official.
The Op.
The Op. Not the OP, like I accidentally called them earlier. But
I can see that, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think of name changes of like that of established businesses?
Well, and now it's in Simon Games, which was Cool Mini or Not, which was then I think Simon, and that is now Come On.
Oh, you got confirmation on that?
I did.
Okay.
I think, right? I think so. I think I've heard it in a couple different places now that the way you say it now, we're supposed to say this. Come on.
Because I heard that here at GAMA is the first time I heard that, and I always started mentioning that to a few people. I got very strange looks, so I wasn't sure if it was confirmed or not.
I think. Did we have Come On, Simon on here yesterday? I just thought I heard it from, because at first I didn't believe it, and then I was like, I don't know, because it's one of those.
Why would so? I guess
people try to trick me sometimes, so I'm pretty gullible. So I thought that's what it was, but no. Look. We're not saying it officially here because apparently there's still some contention about is this really true. But anyway, as you were saying, what do I think about it?
Yeah. Hold on, put a pin in that just for a moment because I see that the op just walked in. Go ahead and start setting up your first item. And is nothing to set up? Oh.
Well, this is going to be interesting.
I'm going to wait in anticipation until the next opportunity I have to chat with
continue.
you. Yes, and then I'll get your opinion.
And then you can track down and see officially. But is Come On.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Okay. More work.
Yes, good.
All right. All
Okay.
right. Let's have Ross come join us here.
All right, Ross.
Oh, can we have more than one? Is that cool? Do we have the third mic ready, or do we? Okay. Yes. Right here. Excellent.
Sure. We can make.
You got me. Here's this one for you. I'll go get the third mic. Wonderful. And chair.
I could squat awkwardly.
Oh, wait.
You can grab it. Yeah, they're both happy.
It's shrink wrap, but it's empty. Good little trick.
That's how we do it.
So which one would you like to talk about first? Do you want them both sort of? I guess we're.
We'll have them both out. That's cool looking.
Oh yeah, these are both talisman, right? So
yeah. Well, you don't want to block it up, but it's just the boxes.
Yeah.
We can scoot over a little bit too and pat in there.
We might have to just zoom out a bit.
Well, that works as well.
I don't know if that's an option. Are we able to zoom? I guess we're gonna be able. Once he's sitting down, we'll be able to. So it's Pat, right?
Zoom. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Just need to get close.
There we go. Get cozy.
So how are we going to tag this one? We've got two different games here.
Should we one at a time?
Yeah, do them one at a time.
Yeah.
That way they can be on the game. If you're going to talk about it at all,
is this
what
like
it brings to the game?
Yeah. We'll do one at a time then.
All right, and I guess since we don't have much to show, these will be relatively brief.
Yeah.
I'm guessing, right?
I think we can do like 5 minutes. Maybe less than that.
Yeah, actually, Pat, I think you might need to hop in a little closer.
Yep.
I can scoot too a little bit, I think. But
You just need to cross one leg over each
oh,
other's.
we already are. Okay then.
Alrighty. Are rolling whenever you're ready.
All right. Hi everyone, I'm Rodney. I'm here with BoardGameGeek. I'm also here with Ross and Pat from the Op. And you've got something in shrink wrap here.
We do.
Very light though.
It is a little light.
There's not actually anything in here, is there?
No, this is
just a tease.
This is just a tease.
Okay.
One big tease.
And what's this a tease for?
This is a tease for Kingdom Hearts Talisman.
Okay.
So we are really excited for this game.
Because you guys now have the license to do like Talisman?
We do.
Okay.
Yeah, we partnered with Games Workshop earlier this year. And so we're going to be doing licensed Talismans games. Our first one that we've announced is Kingdom Hearts Talisman.
Excellent. And so anyone who doesn't know this Kingdom Hearts property, you want to give us a quick overview of that?
Pat?
Yeah, so Kingdom Hearts is a video game series that's been around for a while now. The third game just came out, so there's been a lot of new hype. And what we loved about Kingdom Hearts as an IP is it lets you blend Disney worlds, right? So you have characters from Square Enix that are coming in and journeying through various Disney lands. So you're in Agrabah, you're at the Disney Castle, you know, you're journeying all through different Disney IP. So for a Kingdom Hearts adventure story, we're able to integrate all these different worlds, all the different characters, and really take Disney fans and Kingdom Hearts fans on a really different type of journey than the classic Talisman.
So is that what we're going to see on the board then, is a variety of different locations from different movies, or how is that is that how it's represented? Yeah.
Yeah, the board is all original illustration artwork that was done to create what is a very Disney feeling board, very Kingdom Hearts feeling board, very colorful and unique, and which we really love. But you know, you do have spaces like Agrabah is a space on the board, right? And you have like different Disney Castle in the corner where the original kind of castle was in Talisman. So you have this opportunity to kind of travel around, and there's the gummy paths and some things that harken to Kingdom Hearts as an IP as well. So
can you say some of the characters that people will be playing as, or is that a secret?
I don't know marketing. Can we?
So
if you can't, you can't.
You know what? I think you can say a few. Go for it.
So you know, of course, you're going to see some of the classic Disney favorites that are in key players in the story. So like King Mickey, for example, as a playable character. But you're going to see some of the Square Enix characters as well. So Sora, for example, being a key character in Kingdom Hearts is a playable. I don't want to tease too many.
Sure. Say a few surprises. But some favorites will be there.
Totally.
So some surprises too. Cool.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty fun.
And when is this going to be releasing?
Wolf is coming out in June.
In June. Okay, well thank you very much for the overview of Talisman Kingdom Hearts. All right.
Cool.
Perfect.
Next.
And yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
And whenever you're ready.
And we're good to go. Okay. Hi everyone, I'm Rodney here with BoardGameGeek, and also here with Ross and Pat from the Op. And you have another game in Shrink. Again, very light. I don't think there's anything in here.
Yeah, it's just a mock, but we do have something on the back though. It's kind of cool.
I can see that. Yeah.
Are we
allowed to show this?
Yeah, well, we are now.
Okay. We don't have to. We don't have to. Okay, tell us all about it.
Okay. So we're really, as we were talking about earlier with Kingdom Hearts Talisman, we're really excited to be a part of the Talisman universe again with Batman Supervillains Edition.
Okay.
Actually, real quick, let me stop you.
Yeah.
I didn't take that camera, so nothing's been shown. So do you want to start again so we don't have that little flub in there?
Yeah, that works.
Or we can leave the flub in because it was kind of fun.
It was kind of fun.
All right, we don't have to.
Okay.
So, or we can, do you want to just want to? You want to restart, or do you want to just edit that?
That's okay with you?
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
That's fine.
Okay. All right. We'll go again.
Live is so much fun. Oh, it's all good. Here we are.
All right. Ready? Hi everyone. I'm Rodney Smith. I'm here with BoardGameGeek, and I'm also here with Ross and Pat from the Op. And you've got a game in shrink.
We do.
It's kind of light and empty, so I don't think there's anything inside.
This is just a prototype box.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So a little tease for us for Talisman Batman.
That's right. Yes, it's Batman Supervillains Edition.
Okay.
So this year, DC is celebrating their 80th anniversary of Batman, and they've also dubbed it the Year of the Villain.
Yes.
So in theme with that, we are doing a Talisman Batman that has you playing as Batman's Rogue Gallery in Arkham. And so you need to get to the control center in the middle of Arkham, release all the villains, and become the king of Arkham City.
Okay.
Yeah.
So people are familiar with Talisman, then this is going to be a comfortable rule set, I suppose, in that regard, right? Like, are rules changing? Is it the Talisman system with some adjustments, or?
Yeah, what we really wanted to do with these games was celebrate what people love about Talisman, but also make sure that we were introducing new fans and gamers to the Talisman universe with a faster gameplay. So, you know, classic Talisman games are sort of an afternoon experience. Yeah. You know, people say like it's a beer and pretzel, it's kind of light adventure game. But it can go on for a long time, especially with the full 6-player count. Yep. So what we did was we adapted some of the old fast play rules from the 4th edition. We brought those forward as the core rules to the game.
Oh, okay.
Made some balancing adjustments to get the game down to more of a 90-minute experience.
Right.
But to celebrate the diehard Talisman fans who really love that longer experience, we kept the long play rules in the back of the rule book so that they can have the more traditional game.
I got you. So the 90-minute or so game is more the focus, but you still have the option to play the longer game if you want to.
Exactly.
Yep. Cool. All right. Anything you tell us about what we're going to find inside here?
So one of the cool things with this game is Batman is in the game, even though you are playing as the Rogues Gallery, and so he is kind of based on the Reaper expansion, which was from Old Talisman as it brought in, and so Batman is going to be going around the board and trying to find you in Arkham so he can do damage and remove cards and do all these things, and so as you're going around rolling and adventuring, you've got to make sure you don't run into Batman.
Do we know how many characters we have to choose from here for the Rogues Gallery?
Full 12.
Oh, 12,
so
okay.
12 of the villains that, you know, knowing the Batman universe, it's actually kind of hard to narrow it down to a favorite.
I would imagine,
12.
yeah.
But of course, with the encounter deck and all the adventure cards and, you know, strangers and followers and things, we were able to integrate a lot of characters and a lot of villains into the deck as well. But there are 12 unique playable characters.
Okay, when is this going to be releasing?
We'll have this later this year.
Okay, later this year, so keep an eye out for that. Thank you guys so much for sharing the information with us about the game, and all of you, thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Excellent. Great. What's this little patch here?
All the miniatures there.
Good job. Well hidden. All right.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Good to see you guys again.
Definitely.
So what do we have next?
We have
Floodgate.
20 minutes.
Wow. All right.
Cool.
Perfect. Yes. Ahead of schedule.
Oh, no, it's all
right.
good.
I still think there might be a way to edit and leave that in because I think it was kind of goofy.
But I also just want you to know that that
nothing got
camera
spoiled.
Never,
Yeah.
The camera never went live.
Yeah.
So that would be confusing.
That's what I figured was.
But unfortunately confusing.
Yeah.
Oh, that wasn't live?
No, it was live. The overhead did. They never cut to the overhead. Yeah.
So you were joking about something that nobody else would get. Yeah. Everyone's probably like, oh.
Well, they would have seen it go down, right? Like, oh, are we not supposed to see this? Oh, whoops, you know. No.
And I never took it because I saw your reaction. Like, I'm not going to take that camera.
Yeah, that's smart. All right.
Yeah, we've got a new marketing department that's been very license sensitive, so we're...
Understandable.
I don't want to get anybody in trouble.
I appreciate it.
All right. See you guys later?
Yeah.
All right. Chaz is coming back.
Boom.
Yeah, if you don't have your badge, oh, that's their badge.
There is a quick question, if you don't mind answering real quick.
Yeah.
Can you combine this with Kingdom Hearts version just to be that guy?
What do you mean? Combine both the editions? So the question was, can you combine both editions together?
Yeah, I mean, theoretically, the stats are similar. They have different names in the different versions.
Theoretically, yes.
Yeah.
There you go. Cool. There you go.
For your official headcanon, feel free.
Do we have a game to play on the air?
All right. Well, we were gonna. Oh, did you find out anything about?
Yeah, right.
Amongst your other duties, did you find out about Come On?
Oh, I did not get a chance to...
Let's see if I can do a little quick research here.
To be honest, I can't even remember what the question was that I was supposed to be looking up.
Wow. I matter that little to you. No, it's...
Not all, Bob. Rodney.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Let's see if there's anything here. I don't see anything.
Well, the original question was that led to...
Maybe someone in the chat knows.
Maybe.
Come
yes,
to our rescue
you know
here.
what? There.
We should have
Chat,
gone. We should have outsourced to the
yes,
chat
we should
here.
have outsourced. If we can crowdsource the answer to that question about Simon, about it if it's officially come on now. Now, when, oh boy, was it 2 years ago now at Gen Con that Cool Mini changed to CMON?
I think so.
I remember seeing it.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing their initial logo with just the initials.
Yeah.
And someone I was with was like, "Oh, come on! Oh, that makes sense." But that does make sense. And immediately after that, every reviewer and YouTuber and everyone I ever heard referred to it as CMON.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm wondering if CMON's original intention was to be come on, and everybody missed it.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't.
Okay.
Because I think the reason we all started calling it CMON is because they told us CMON is what it is.
Ah, okay.
And then, but I wonder if because so many people defaulted that, they went, all right, we can't fight the system. Go ahead, call us that. But
Makes
again,
sense.
we're all just speculating at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this news is not very official. So what else can we talk about? Does the chat have any?
No.
Any comments or curious? Chat, you're letting us down here.
Do you think that is detrimental to a company?
The name changing?
Yeah.
I don't know. I almost feel like it's more of an inside baseball thing. Like in terms of the end users, like the gamers, do they care what it's referred to or called as? Probably not. As a company and branding, it probably matters in terms of, I don't know, marketing and stuff like that. But I don't know.
I'm always worried that it will cause to lose some of their potential audience, confuse people. But I think with Cool Mini or not, in the long run, it made sense because they introduced more games that don't have any minis at all.
Yeah. I think they were mainly just trying to get away from that, calling themselves minis thing.
And USAopoly with the op, the op doesn't scream board games,
I think with that, right, they're probably trying to get away from the Opoly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we don't just do Monopoly variants, we have a lot more in the catalog.
Yeah, right? So it's almost the flip side of that coin, but again, I think in the long run it's going to make
Honestly,
sense.
I've run into that problem myself a little bit because my channel's called Watch It Played, but I do a lot of tutorials where you're not actually watching it played.
Oh, interesting.
But I started the channel more on the premise of we're going to teach and play, so you'll see both, and pretty soon I realized, well, a lot of value is being gained from these tutorials, and it's actually quite difficult to do a tutorial and a gameplay every single time. So I started doing fewer of them. Scheduling-wise, it was just more difficult, and it relied on other people. So I sometimes now feel like, well, it's kind of late. That ship has sailed. I'd like to call it something else. I don't know at this point would be good for the channel.
Hey, Rodney, I'm going to be a disembodied head to jump in here and say that I'm in the same boat. I started my YouTube channel, John Gets Games. It was about acquiring and then talking about them,
getting
and
games,
reviews. It was reviews forever, and then I decided to formally not do reviews anymore and do the playthroughs. And I was like,
and just calling it John.
Yeah, and I was like, it should be John Plays Games, or it's too late. It was just too late.
It still makes sense to me because you get the game. Instead of obtaining, it's understanding. And so
John Gets Games.
Yeah, and I kind of thought that was the original intention.
Yeah, you have some flexibility there.
So,
unfortunately, some people just think I'm really full of myself.
Yeah,
that
John
was
Gets
not
Games.
the intention.
Absolutely, no one in this room thinks that. No.
Yeah, so I think naming does matter. It's hard sometimes to know when you start something, because Cool Mini or Not, of course, is maybe not everyone knows this, but they originally started as a website where you would go on, you would rate whether or not you thought this mini. They'd be just loads of pictures of minis. You'd go cool or not, cool or not, cool or not, right? So
yeah,
and they probably didn't anticipate. Oh, at some point in time, we'll start making games.
Yes,
right?
it will be this huge force in the industry.
Yeah,
it's fascinating to see how that company has grown and evolved over the years. Absolutely. The other thing too that's nice about going from Cool Mini or Not to CMON or Come On and USAopoly to the OP, fewer letters. And when you have a channel called Pair of Dice Paradise, which is not only really long, but is a pun on itself that is incredibly difficult to explain to people how to spell, that's another benefit of having a short
Have you
name.
encountered that? Has that been like a bit of a anchor around your weight?
Constantly.
Really? Yeah.
Yes.
Where do you encounter it the most?
I know I look up my Google search statistics, and it's about a 50-50 split of people who, it says the search phrases people search for to find me. Half of them are Pair of Dice Paradise, and the other half are Paradise Pair of Dice. It's like, well, great, all right. Again, that ship has sailed.
Well, something for you all to consider if you're out there thinking about starting a YouTube channel or some other form of media. Think about as it goes down the years, like the Dice Tower, for example, is pretty generic.
Oh.
There's a lot of
no, but I know that the Dice Tower.
I'm just going to jump in here.
Yes.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah,
awesome.
why not?
Yay.
All right. Yes, definitely when you decide to do this tiny thing because you're bored and you want to do something, definitely spin your wheels for months thinking about the legal ramifications when you eventually go pro because...
Yes. And the Dice Tower, well, is their website dicetower.com or thedicetower.com. And that
idea.
well, neither does anyone else on the planet, which is why everything they register like that, they have to do twice because they have to cover those bases.
Dice Tower, the Dice Tower.
Yeah. So having the as part of the first part of your name too is another consideration to worry about.
And all you wanted to do is just talk about games, and now you got to think about all that stuff.
I know.
It's true. It matters, right, in the long run.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess it's a little more straightforward with yours, but I mean, how did you come up with your names for the channels?
Well, mine was really simple.
Hey, we've entered the narcissist hour.
Yes,
of
exactly.
live chat.
Let us talk about ourselves. Mine was really simple. For years, my my handle for like lots of different websites was John Gets Bored, because I used to get really bored.
Okay.
Like,
Oh,
I would
really?
Yeah. My regular old job had me not working on Mondays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays when all of my friends were working regular jobs. So I'd just sit at home getting super bored. I taught myself how to shuffle cards because I didn't know that growing up.
Yeah.
I watched every single competitive StarCraft 2 tournament. I was really into that scene, just like on a random Tuesday in the middle afternoon. What's John doing? He's probably drinking a beer watching StarCraft 2. I just got so bored. And so when I one day got literally so bored to the point I was like, I'm just going to film a review of Tuluva. I just opened up my phone. I was like, John Gets Games. Board game, sure. And now I never get bored anymore.
Because you
like,
almost could have gone with you could have gone with John Gets Bored and spelled it B-O-A-R-D.
Tons of people have told me that, and I'm
glad you didn't.
vehemently against it. I think
glad
that John did.
Well, again, it's that whole problem of people searching for it are not going to know which way to spell it. It's just
Exactly.
bad.
So what about you, Rodney?
I don't remember. I remember when I was thinking, when I realized I knew what I wanted to do, which was to do tutorial and teaches, right? Once I had that, I was like, okay, I come up with a name. One of the names initially was going to be, hey, come on in, Ben. We're just, feel free to chat. We're just talking on the live stream.
Just waiting for you to get set up.
I was in the shower. I remember distinctly in the shower, and I thought, oh, I have a good name for a channel, Inside the Box.
Oh, really? You just,
Because then I was like, and today, let's see what's inside the box. You know, I mean, it would be kind of like a little intro tagline, and I don't know, then, for whatever reason, I think because I knew I was going to be playing games, Watch It Play hit me, and when I heard it in my head or whatever, I was like, oh, that's the one I want. But then, of course, there is now a YouTube channel, fantastic one, called Inside the Box. And if you have not checked it out,
they do the sketches.
They do these incredible, like 20, 30-minute long.
Oh my goodness.
Stories, acting, drama, comedy. Now, look, I would say it's not safe for work.
Yeah.
But so if you're a little sensitive around that, it might not be your cup of tea, but
they're really difficult for me to watch because I get so jealous of how good they are.
Yeah, the production quality. It's so funny because the production quality is very high, but they are very casual. This is a bunch of people and friends playing games in someone's apartment or home or whatever, and it's really, really good. Yeah. Really good.
Well, I'm really surprised that Watch It Played, because it's so straightforward. That wasn't your first idea.
Yeah, it really wasn't. It's Inside the Box, but ended up with, should have stuck with Inside the Box, frankly.
I think it's also, I think it's with John and you and myself, it also demonstrates something that we didn't sit there and think about it. We were all doing something else, and it hit us. Yeah. Because I wanted to come up with something, and I was trying to come up with a name, and I was actually just vacuuming. And I was just vacuuming and letting my mind wander.
Paradise went up through the vacuum.
Yeah, yeah, and then just the play on words hit me, and I actually just put down the vacuum and went and registered the domain.
I wasn't. That's another thing I didn't consider at the time. My domain was already taken.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, the .com was. I have the .ca, but .com was taken. Because again, at the time, like, didn't have those long-term sort of considerations.
Yep.
So yeah, there you go. Narcissist Hour is over.
Well, I'm going to go play the home version of it over there.
Okay. All right. We've got. Well, do we have Ben joining us or Gates?
We do. Yeah.
So we had Gates on the thing, but we got you instead?
Yes.
Perfect.
But downgrade.
Yeah, I don't think so. So you might want to just keep that in mind, Derek. It's Ben.
I don't want it to bonk into the microphone.
Excuse me.
Oh, is this actually a switcheroo on the schedule?
No.
No, this is correct.
Switcheroo on the co-host.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good.
John, would you mind throwing me one of those waters in there?
Depends on what you can catch.
I can catch pretty good.
Yes.
All right. Here. Yes, please.
I think that's a gift we don't need on the internet. Rodney getting pegged in
Clunk.
the forehead.
I don't know. I think that's the gift everyone wants.
Eating like a duck impression.
I regretted that the instant I did it.
Oh, darn it. I saw you were on the schedule, and I was like, I'm gonna go look up the 3 laws of robotics. I love Isaac Asimov, and I was like, I think I remember 2 of them, but I don't remember them like the official taglines from, and I couldn't remember the 3rd one.
The first one is...
You never harm a human, right?
Yeah, never harm a human, never harm yourself, or never harm...
I never harm yourself, I think it's the 3rd, right?
One is like inaction.
Is it?
By not doing a thing, you can't cause harm.
Oh, okay, do you remember them?
I don't. I should.
What? You don't remember them?
Yes.
Outsource it.
Come on, chat.
Yeah, I read like
Help
every
us out.
Asimov book, but it's been like 25 years.
I started rereading the Foundation series, one of my favorite, and I had reread the, what do they call it?
Apparently we need to talk about Asimov.
We do. That's
great.
Feel free to hop in a little closer, man. I feel I need some warmth and coziness here. A little closer. There we go. That's better. There we go. Here.
Let's look them up.
Yep, I got it. I'm doing it.
Yeah. Okay, you got it.
Here you go.
So the 3 laws. Isaac Asimov's 3 laws of robotics. A robot may not injure a human being or through inaction allow a human being to come to harm. First law. Second law. This is very relevant. The way AI is going, we need these laws baked in. A robot must obey orders given to it by a human except where such orders would conflict with the first law. Third, a robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second law. Yeah.
Some smart laws.
Really smart laws for a robot. Like, that's going to be roaming around. Protect itself, but not at the expense of others, and so on and so forth. Which is what led to like one of the most amazing stories, because there was a murder.
Daniel Olivas, the murder mysteries are amazing.
Yeah, because there's a murder, and you know the laws of robotics are. So you're like, how could this have happened?
Yeah.
You know.
Oh,
And it's,
yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, we'll leave that. We'll table that topic for later.
I like it.
Yeah. So we've got. So you're doing 2 games, right? We got the first, or you're doing 1?
I think we're just doing
Oh yeah, yes, you're right.
3
just
laws
the
of
one.
robotics today.
Perfect. Perfect.
Whenever you are ready.
I will be ready right now. Okay. You ready?
Super. I'm ready.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's great.
Hi everyone, I'm Rodney. I'm here with BoardGameGeek, and also I'm here with Ben from Floodgate Games.
Hello.
You brought a little box with you here. This is
did.
the 3 laws of robotics.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about this?
Absolutely.
Sure.
This is a new one from us by Ben Canellos. It is a deduce your own identity game.
Oh.
So in this game, we are each.
So I don't know what I am?
You don't know what you are.
Interesting.
Yes.
Clever. Okay.
We are each members of a robotic faction.
Yes.
We're given a rank within that faction, and we know everything there is to know about our fellow robots, except we don't know anything about ourselves.
Oh, okay.
So we're each given one of these
Yes.
faction cards, and we hold it up, facing out, so that
Gotcha.
everyone else
So I can see
it.
this, but I obviously can't see mine.
Right.
Little reminder here: do not look at the card.
Yes,
All
it's a
Smart.
helpful reminder
Yeah.
on the back.
Okay.
So then we'll go around one by one and ask one single question to any other player to try and deduce what robotic faction we are and what rank we are, with the goal of giving our security key to the highest ranking member of our faction.
Okay. So first of all, I might see other people in my faction, but I might be the highest ranking one. I don't know that yet.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Okay,
others
gotcha.
might not know because not every rank may be available to be played and whatnot. So we go around in
What
a
kind
circle.
of questions are we asking? Like,
the sky's the limit, but you should probably ask something that helps you figure out what faction or rank you are.
Can you give an example?
Yeah, a good example would be, am I the highest rank that you see? Or am I the only android at the table that you can see?
Gotcha.
And who you ask that question to may matter as well.
Why's that?
Because you may only see one of a particular faction, and that might help tell. If you ask the person who you only see one of them, then you know you can kind of deduce.
Right. What's going on with the other ones?
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
And so sort of knowing what other people can and can't see helps to.
It's clever.
Yeah, it's pretty cute. The twist to
Yes.
all of this is that as the game progresses, we introduce more and more laws to the game. So these laws create rules that you have to operate in. So while I'm trying to figure out what rank I am, maybe in the second round, well, now we actually can't say numbers.
Cannot say numbers, right?
So which makes that kind of challenging. If anybody's ever caught breaking any of these laws, any other player can say error and enforce the law, and they'll be awarded one of these error enforcement tokens, which are worth victory points at the end of the round.
Tattletale enforcement tokens. Got it.
Exactly.
So, although I cannot say numbers, I can still refer around. I can talk around it. Kind of thing, and try to find clever ways to get at the numbers without saying. Okay.
You got it.
Understood.
And that is the soul of the game, so to
right,
speak. Right.
So can I see a couple more?
Absolutely.
All right.
Let's
So we
flip
got some other ones. We got queries must be 5 words or less. Oh,
you get pretty clever.
Yeah. How succinct can I be?
Yep.
Players cannot smile or frown. So now, Uncanny Valley is the name of that one.
Yeah,
Pretty clever.
Uncanny Valley.
Okay,
It's one of my favorites. Very hard to pull off.
What are these over here?
These are victory point cards.
Oh, okay.
So when if you win by getting your security key to the highest ranking member of your faction, you're awarded these victory point cards.
Okay.
The team that gets the most when you're playing with more players, they also get a bonus card. And then again, for enforcing the errors, you're awarded victory point cards as well.
Okay.
So their values 1, 2, and 3. So nobody quite knows who's winning.
Oh, I see. So there are values here.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So I might see you with a lot of cards in front of you, but there might be ones.
Exactly.
I might have fewer, but I might have 3, so I'm still in the game.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is one of those games where there's a point system to it, and if you want to play, to be the one who wins that way, fantastic. But often winning is in the experience of playing with your friends.
So when is this going to be available?
This will be available in May.
Okay.
And this one will sell for 15.
And how many players?
4 to 8.
4 to 8?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Ben, for showing us the 3 laws of robotics.
Thank you.
And all of you, thanks for watching. Very cool. That sounds like a lot of fun.
It's a blast. Yeah, we're having a great time with it.
Yeah.
And,
I bet you this is fun to demo, too.
It
Like
is.
this?
Because you hand people cards and they pick it up and they just start playing.
Yeah, yeah. It seems like it would
hilarious.
just sort of run itself. That's
Yeah.
cool. I want to try that later.
Yeah.
You've been demoing it here?
A little bit.
Yeah.
We're showing off the Sagrada expansion and Bosk because people are kind of thinking about their next thing.
Sure.
But it's been good.
Well, thanks, Ben.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Good to see you again.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
to see you.
All right, so how are we doing here? Still looking good? Still on schedule, which is awesome. Actually, hello, come on back.
A little lull in the festivities.
Well, if you're bored of Rodney, don't worry. I'll be leaving soon. I got 2 more sessions to host, and then I'll be done.
And I think John's up.
Then John's up. Everyone gets John.
Yep. And yeah, I've been standing over there, kind of doing all of the maintenance work during these, watching John. And I don't think he can hear us, so I'm just going to say his stage presence is just fantastic.
He's good, isn't he?
He's so fun to watch. Yeah. So.
I mean, I think John was one of the people I talked about early on when I first discovered his channel. Because I watched him go from using his iPhone to getting better and better equipment. And I was like, this is somebody taking this really seriously, and I love that. I think it's a bad idea to take yourself too seriously in content creation or media or whatever. But I think taking what you do seriously is okay.
Yes.
I think that's where I'd prefer to see the focus.
Have I pushed us back into the narcissist?
Yeah, yeah, totally.
Sorry.
Totally.
Let's talk about something else. Let's see. Something that's not any. You know what? Okay, I have a question for you. Oh no, that's. I want to know, other than Endgame, what's another movie this year that you're looking forward to coming out?
Oh, interesting. Star Wars, I'm hearing Star Wars over there. Yeah, me too. I'm actually quite looking forward to the new Hellboy movie.
Oh.
I'm with reserved anticipation because I really like the Hellboy comic books. And I thought the movies were good. The other movies were fine. I thought Ron Perlman was a fantastic Hellboy. So I'll be looking forward to seeing this one. This one looks like it's a little darker.
Does it?
And maybe feels a little bit almost a little closer to the comic books in some way. I'm hoping. We'll see. I've bought every Hellboy comic trade, and I have them all, and I've fallen well behind actually reading them all. So whenever I retire, I'll have a lot of Hellboy to catch up on. Do you read comic books?
Oh boy.
I know you used to. Back to Narcissist Hour. Tell us all about how you used to have your own e-zine. Or whatever.
I self-published.
You self-published, yeah.
I self-published a little comic book regionally in the early '90s or so.
Yeah.
But and that was really neat because I went to conventions there, so I got kind of the convention feel, and I was always in the starving artist area.
Yeah.
And I would.
They literally starved them. You weren't allowed to order food or anything. It was kind of rough.
Yeah.
He was choking on a peanut. Yeah.
This is why we're starving. But
you guys read comic books at all, Derek?
I'm way out of it.
He's way out of it.
Yeah.
Lincoln?
Nikki, not me.
Nikki, not me. Nikki does. Okay.
Now when I.
And John? Do you read comics? Oh, John's.
No,
John's
here we go.
Hey,
There we
gotta
go.
have my face on screen,
Yeah,
right?
sure.
Yes.
The only comic I've ever read was every single Tintin.
Oh,
really?
Tintin.
Yeah. I never really got into
Phenomenal.
comics in general, but my local library had them, and in like a
That's
slow
exactly
rotating
what I
fashion.
did. Yes,
and I,
same.
yeah,
At John's local library.
Yes.
Wow. Small world.
Yeah. When I was a kid, everything I read was from the local library, and so yeah, all the Tintins, and then pretty much every single book in the sci-fi.
I don't know if this was always the way it was, but today you can go into your local library and you can go like, hey, can you pull in the books from the other libraries that maybe I want? I don't know if that was an option back then, but I definitely didn't know that was, so I would just go to that section every time I visited and just hope, fingers crossed, that something new was going to be there, right? And when it was, like Christmas. I love those comics.
And they were never in order, too.
I started read them all in order. Yeah, totally out of order. But then I started to realize as I read more of them, oh, there's crossover. This character was like from an earlier book, and oh, there's the origin. That's the first time that one appeared.
I never did see that movie that came out, though. I really should have.
You should.
Was it good?
I really liked it a lot.
Yeah, it's fun.
I should.
Really good.
I mean, it's been like 27 years since I read Tintin books,
crazy.
25 years, but I remember loving them.
I rebought them all because it was a nice hardcover slipcase set of it that I bought for my son.
I don't even know because I read them in such a haphazard way.
There's at least 20, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
I forget now, but
I remember being frustrated because I would rent it from the library and then be done that night.
He was the odd kid that they charged him to rent it.
Yeah.
You know what? This kid's a sucker.
I was so disappointed to discover that some of the early comics had some pretty racist elements in it.
Really?
I don't know if you knew about that or not. There's a couple that never quite made it over here to North America. And they were not, they were pretty bad.
You know, I was just talking to Chaz about this off over there. You know, a lot of the media or the print media that I consumed as a kid, I had no idea how problematic some of it could be.
Yes.
Because I was just like, we were talking about Asimov a little bit.
Yeah.
But you know, I've recently had some conversations with people, and we're talking about it, and realizing that very poor representation in those books, like astonishingly poor.
Yeah.
And you know, a 10-year-old John, I just didn't notice that, and that's a part of the reason I think why representation is important, because I didn't notice that, so it felt normal, which is not good at all.
Yeah, no,
right?
exactly.
And so yeah, about Tintin, for all I know, there could have been some awful stuff in the books I read, and I just just you know. Anyway, I think that's an interesting point to it.
Kind of thing, right? It's like, this is the norm.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
No, I really love those, and I've now discovered that you're an Isaac Asimov fan as well, which is pretty cool. So you said you've read everything?
Most of them. Everything that my library had.
Again, the library. I think that's where I discovered it too. I came across one of them, started reading, and my mind was kind of blown. I went back and listened to the audiobooks of them when I was older, and I read them quite young. There was some adult stuff in there. I don't think it all went over my head.
Yes.
I didn't really realize there was some sexual stuff in there that was kind of like, I was reading this at quite a young age. I didn't really understand any of it.
I distinctly remember being 10 or so, reading a book in the back of the car and being like, they have no idea what I'm reading. Feeling really,
that little sci-fi book
really self-conscious. Yeah, there's some fun stuff in there. But yeah, the only ones that I own, my favorite Isaac Asimov book, this is serious in the weeds here, is The Gods Themselves. Did you ever read that one?
I haven't read, no.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing.
Really?
Yeah, so the premise of this book is it's 3 different short stories put together with a cohesive narrative through them. Okay. Where essentially, I'm going to try not to spoil anything here, but one is like humans doing a thing that that may or may not talk to aliens. The second one is the first one from the perspective of the aliens, from everything that's happening, and the third one is like what happens after that. And some really cool, very outside of the box stuff happens. From my memory, I own it, and I haven't read it in probably 20 years. Now I'm kind of worried. What if I went back and read that, and I was like, oh no?
Yeah. So The Gods Themselves?
Yeah, The Gods Themselves.
It's I haven't read some of the more small anthology stories. I tended to get into the series and kind of read them through. But.
Yeah. That's one thing. I went back and I did listen to the audiobook for the Foundation series on a 500-mile drive, and I was amazed at how short they are.
Yeah.
You know, my memory of reading these when I was young, it was like, oh man, I'm in the 3rd book. Like, this is a crazy series. And then I got through like 2 books on this drive, and I was like, oh, these are really, really short books. But in my adulthood, I'd read like Game of Thrones and Malazan books and all that kind of stuff.
Did you get through all the Game of Thrones books?
Yes, a couple times.
Wow.
Yeah,
a couple times. Wow. Yeah, I got through the 1st and 2nd book. I think I'm partway through the 3rd, and I've just stalled out there. I really enjoyed it.
In 2008, I had a roommate, and we were just chatting, and he casually mentioned he was reading Game of Thrones. I said, "What's that?" I had no idea. And he just walked into his room, came back out, and threw the book at me. So yeah, I started reading it back then.
Was this before? This before the shows?
Yeah, I think the show started a couple years after that. Like, so I read at that point just the first 4 books were out. So I read those, and then the 5th book came out like 3 years after that. So I reread the whole thing.
How have you liked the TV show? The books you've read both or seen.
I think it's great. I'm not a picky person when it comes to my media. If I'm being honest, I'm not a a particular media geek, really, in any way. So I don't hold things to be all that
too
precious.
dearly. Yeah. I think
there are a couple things that I really wish they'd done differently.
Sure.
Honestly, the biggest thing was the very first scene in the very first episode of the very first season. I thought it was way better in the books, but hey, whatever. What you gonna do? It was a lot scarier, in my opinion, in the books. But yeah, no, I really like all that stuff.
I remember that too. It was quite a bit scarier.
That being said, I do remember reading 3/4 of the first book and stalling for a couple months. Like it's tough.
They're longer.
It's a bit of a slog. There's a lot of people in there. Yeah. Do you read at all anymore besides rule books?
I was gonna say no. Well, Chaz, we've bunked together a couple of times. What do I always bring with me?
Oh, you always bring a lot of like business and self-help and improvement type of books. Yep.
And what do I do with them?
They sit on the nightstand, and then you pack them in your suitcase when you're done. And then when we go to the next convention, you take them out and you put them on the nightstand, and then the cycle repeats.
I'm pretty sure you're doing it wrong. You're supposed to put them underneath your pillow as you sleep.
Oh, really?
That way it kind of,
osmosis?
You got to be productive while you're sleeping.
When I travel, I go, well, this is going to be a good time. There'll be some downtime somewhere where I'll just get some quiet and I'll read and make a little progress, right? And then I have the same problem that all gamers have of, well, which game am I going to play? Which book will I feel like reading? So I bring a little smattering of, for whatever I'm feeling. And
then you end up just like looking at your phone or something, right?
Well, or I go to bed, or I socialize or something like that. Yeah.
I've actually been really trying to read lately. Like as of the last 14 months, I've read like 10 books.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's a lot of reading.
And in the prior 10 years, I probably read, just Game of Thrones, essentially, or something like that. So yeah, there's some pretty cool stuff coming out right now. It's kind of like important with all the, like working for yourself so much. You do this, I'm sure, and I do it quite a bit as well. Just having that like you time off in the corner doing literally nothing productive I found it to be pretty helpful.
I just want to be a more well-rounded person, and I find that I'm spending all my time in rule books. It's hard to take that into like everyday conversation with.
The stories aren't that interesting.
Yeah, they really aren't. Sometimes they're very. Yeah. So it's like I think it's good to kind of broaden your scope so that whatever you're into isn't the only thing that you can speak with some competence to.
Yes. Yeah, I worry about that as well. And you have, it takes a lot of effort, doesn't it?
Yeah, because there's a certain tunnel vision that's required to do a thing sort of well. And then you realize, oh, I haven't like seen what's going on outside of this one thing that I'm really into in a long while.
Yeah. It's just funny how that stuff kind of evolves.
Yeah. Are we back in a narcissist hour? Are we talking about?
We sort of are.
We skimmed it.
Yeah, we did. Okay.
We could just be people talking about media or something like that. Let's see here.
I wanted to mention we've talked about the movies. I wanted to mention because I'm not a huge movie guy, but
meaning what? What do you mean by that?
I don't get excited about movies coming out.
I'm the same way.
For example, other than several, maybe one or two big ones a year, I will if there's a big blockbuster that comes out, I'll wait until 4 or 5 weeks until the theater is empty. And I can have it like to myself. Then I'll go. And that's how I would. So I don't mind the waiting.
Yeah.
I don't mind spoilers sometimes. But one movie that surprised me that I'm looking forward to is that Brightburn movie that's coming out.
I know nothing about that.
Yes.
Brightburn?
Brightburn. Do you know anything
I
about it?
know literally nothing about it.
All right.
Producing and his brothers wrote it.
Oh, his brothers wrote it?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
So give me the quick.
Okay, it's Superman.
Okay.
However, everything goes phenomenally wrong.
Okay.
So basically, they find this spaceship lands from. This is all in the trailers. Spaceship lands.
Older couple finds.
Older couple finds. It has a baby in it. Baby has supernatural powers, but those powers cause the child to be an outcast during school. And so his formidable years growing up, he's just bullied, he's tortured, and it affects him the way it might affect a young child.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then it just veers off the rails from there.
Okay.
And if the movie is produced and the story is told the way that it's kind of portrayed in the trailers, it's I don't know why, but I'm really looking forward to it.
There's been some like, what if Superman didn't have a good moral core type of stories, but I can't think of a movie that's really...
Not a movie, no.
Yeah, no. I think I'd be interested in that.
What was that movie, Chronicle? Chronicle by, who was that by?
I don't know. It was somebody who's doing stuff now.
Yeah, a really big director now. Yeah. Like that was one of his first.
I'm not familiar with that one.
Was it
gosh, that's kind of, it's a really good movie.
What's his name?
It's kind of the same idea. You have a group of friends who all kind of get powers, but then one of them gets a little greedy with his power, you know, and so it creates that tension of like, how do we stop him? And
Ooh, when did that come out?
You know what? That does sound sort of vaguely familiar now that you say that.
They had that whole
Josh Trank is a director.
Yes.
Josh.
Excuse me. Right, who ended up being the director for Fantastic Four?
No.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No? No?
Was I think Superman Red Sun was a comic book that had a similar.
What was his name again? Like,
if Superman didn't have a moral compass.
Fantastic Four, if it's the same guy, you're right.
What's his name?
Josh Trank.
Josh?
Josh
Trank.
In general,
It is exactly right.
I watch a lot of these superhero movie type things, but the things I care about usually are sci-fi.
Oh, really? Okay.
Those are the kind of movies that really pull me in. And that I probably see like one movie
Yeah, no, he was
in the
the director
theaters a
too.
year.
Yep.
On
Yeah.
average. I watch probably like 10 movies a year total, but the other 9 are on Netflix or or I just pay $3 on some streaming service to watch it. Yeah, I like movies well enough, but it rarely really gets me going. But occasionally, something really sticks out. For me, actually, funnily enough, my mother is a huge action movie fan.
Really?
But yeah. She has a big thing for Bruce Willis her whole life.
Okay. Yeah.
and my dad could not care less about fiction, like period, like at all. Like it's a waste of his time.
Yes.
He's a mad scientist. He's an electrical, software, and mechanical engineer.
So it's not a practical use of his time.
It isn't. He doesn't scoff at it. He's just like
It's not
he
for
just
me.
gets bored instantly. So as a tradition, like even now, like almost every movie I see in the theaters, it's with my mom.
Right.
And it's usually like some like when the new Mad Max came out, my mom was like super excited about
she
it.
like that?
Oh man,
Yeah,
she
'cause that was
loved it. Yeah,
crazy good movie.
I drove over to their place, because I kind of set my own schedule. It was like a Tuesday. She's retired. We were in a theater with almost no one in it. We bought a bunch of popcorn. It was really
I
good.
think that's a pretty cool thing to be able to share with your mother. Like,
Yeah.
going and just eating popcorn and having a great time and
Yeah,
a wild.
like she
crazy
would just
action
go and
movie.
see it herself, but like it's just I like being kind of like awed by an experience. Like I think certain movies, I have that thing where like when I get kind of overwhelmed by the audio and the visual stimuli. Like I get like emotionally moved. Not like sometimes
like your eyes water.
Oh yeah, your eyes water up and like shudder and
Transformers was great for you, though, right?
but Mad Max did that for me.
Yeah.
There were some moments where I was just like, oh my, like they're so stunning and gorgeous, and I'm like, I'm so glad I saw that in the theaters.
It's
because
really worth checking out some of the shots without the special effects.
I saw that last week.
Because it's insane.
Bonkers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about the stunt stuff?
The stunts are
Yeah.
crazy. There was there was definitely CG there.
You
but,
watch those things and you're like, how did no one?
But there was a lot of not CG stuff that was just insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did a lot of practical things.
That's the word.
Yeah, practicals. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Usually for me in movies, I don't really look ahead. I get told later on that something's great, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
okay.
I'll go back and check that out.
Well,
Fantasy Flight they're the next one scheduled.
Okay. As a sci-fi enthusiast,
Mm-hmm.
then, do you have an opinion on the most recent Star Wars movies?
Yeah, I liked them.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, actually, I was the Star Wars kid in middle school.
Okay.
I don't know if. I don't know how ubiquitous this is in all schools, but amongst the nerdy cluster of people, there were the Star Trek kids and the Star Wars kids. I was on the Star Wars side.
Yeah.
We had lots of very heated conversations, arguments.
Okay.
People would be like playing basketball or whatever, and we would be like just like really going down about why our thing was better
And
than
so
the other
invested
thing.
in it, right?
Yeah,
Like, so
you did.
genuinely invested in your point of view.
Yeah, I mean, I was born in 1983, so when Heir to the Empire came out in 95, 96,
Yeah.
I was like right there. Like I started reading all of those, and again, I was like sitting on the bench reading the Star Wars books instead of playing basketball or doing all those other things. So I have like a huge amount of nostalgic love for Star Wars. That being said, as I grew up, I don't really mind the things that they do. I feel like I wish some of those books they had done in the movies because holy cow, some of those books were amazing. At least my memory of them.
Yeah,
I went back to try and read Heir to the Empire like 10 years ago, and it was less good than I remember overall.
Yeah,
but,
some of those books you can't revisit. Like Isaac Asimov, we were talking about earlier. I
Yeah.
go back and read those now. I read like a little bit with my son. I was like, this holds up. This is amazing writing still. But then some stuff you read and you go, I really loved this when I was a kid, but I'm not so sure anymore.
Yeah. So when it comes to the new Star Wars movies, they've all been fun. Like I really liked Rogue One. I thought that I don't remember all my specific feelings on. I've seen all of the new ones, and I remember enjoying them. I liked some parts more than others. I watched Han Solo last week, and I thought it was a bit silly. I had an okay time, but it was a bit silly, but that's okay. Like I don't have any.
Get through that one yet?
You know, I watched about
Yeah.
20 minutes of it on a plane, and I couldn't do it. And then later on, I was like, come on, you could do this. So I watched the whole thing, and it was fine. It was fine.
Yeah, I've liked all of them to varying degrees.
Yeah.
I think I'm not too precious about it too. Like some people are really invested, so I can kind of appreciate that certain things probably bug them more than it would bug me. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly. I feel like just kind of moving on.
I know
is-
it's unpopular, but I actually really liked The Last Jedi. Like,
I liked Last Jedi
I'm not sure if you can hear this. Derek really liked Last Jedi. That's
So
what
did
he's
I.
saying.
yeah,
Yeah.
I got
Fight me.
disillusioned with Star Wars as it kind of went on. I'm just kind of like, by the time the new trilogy was announced, I was kind of like, oh, okay, sure, you know.
Yeah.
And I liked what they do. I liked that Luke Skywalker's disenchanted with everything. I thought that was an interesting.
I think it's fine.
Yeah.
It's one of the ways they could have taken it, you know. So this is going to show how.
The question of like,
That was an option.
yeah, it was.
Jedis are so awesome. How come stuff keeps falling apart on their watch? You know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I like that they addressed that.
I will say that I enjoyed Last Jedi a lot more than Force Awakens. I remember
Yeah.
leaving that one feeling like that was just like a best of. Like, it was fine,
Oh, yeah.
but I felt
Yeah,
like
sure,
I
sure.
felt like
I've seen this before. I
I've
think.
seen all
Yeah.
of this before, yeah. But you know,
So you don't think that The Last Jedi over course corrected from that? Because that was a lot of the complaints about Force Awakens. Of, you just rehashed the same storyline. You didn't do something new with Last Jedi.
Then they did something new.
definitely did something new, and people think, well, you did too much new.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I think that aspect to it is fine.
I mean, the thing is, ultimately, all that stuff is valid. If that's how you
Yeah.
feel when
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
watching a movie, then that's true for you, right?
Yeah, I think my biggest bummer from, oh my gosh, I think it was Force Awakens. I don't follow this stuff super close. Is that the Kylo Ren character seemed so incredibly badass at the beginning of the movie, and then kind of got a little
whiny?
lame and annoying.
Yeah.
That was probably my, and I'm not gonna like, you know.
He's a Skywalker.
Yeah, I guess. But like the first scene where he's in there, he like stops a blaster bolt, and I was
Oh
like,
man.
dude,
Yeah.
this is gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
And then he's like kind of whiny and like. And then at the end of the movie, he got less intimidating as the movie got on, and I
Yes.
kind of wanted him to stay completely badass like that. But,
Right.
oh well.
Is there a way to get a hold of Brian? I mean,
Oh, Brian, are we due to start now? Are we past start? Okay.
We're no longer ahead.
We are no longer ahead. Let's see here.
I am. Let's see if I have his cell. I might.
Oh, do we
actually
have any
it.
advice for a fledgling game designer in the midst of their first Kickstarter? Says
Yes.
Wits and Giggles.
I have Brian's cell. Let me.
Ooh, advice for a game designer doing in the midst of their
In the
first
midst.
communication is you cannot be too transparent or have too much communication. You can
Yeah.
bombard people with too many messages, but communication is essential. Is what I think about that. If you're having some problems, people get embarrassed and kind of hold that back, but don't. People will appreciate knowing everything, the goods and the bads that are going along with the production.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of tough because have you run a Kickstarter before?
I've run my own kind of like fundraiser stuff.
Yeah, because I have a Patreon thing. I decided not to do the Kickstarter thing. You've done Kickstarters, so it's kind
Indiegogo,
of,
but same
Yeah.
idea.
Oh, sure, yeah. I think it's definitely different when you're inside of it. Although I've talked to enough people about it, it looks like an incredibly stressful experience. I'm not sure what game you have or where your Kickstarter is currently at, but I will say that if your Kickstarter is not doing what you were hoping it would, then there is no shame in taking it down, rejiggering, and going out. Again, I don't know for
it's
this one
actually-
particular person, but I think it's probably better to do that at the right moment as opposed to going to the very last minute and like maybe making it by $1 or missing by a couple $100. You're probably setting yourself up to maybe fail a bit there. So I think that piece of advice is don't worry about no one's gonna be like, oh, that's the game that redid. I'm not gonna worry about it this time. Like,
no, that's a valid marketing approach because it also demonstrates, hey, we're going to fix something that's not working. We're going to come back better because we're listening to the people.
And
that
that's
are
the
interested.
thing I was gonna say. Listen, like that means something. If you're not drawing people, you might be in love with what you've designed, but if people aren't clamoring to it, it could be a few different things. Maybe you're not marketing it well. Maybe you're not getting the word out there the right way you should. But it could also be that maybe it needs to be adjusted in some way.
Yeah.
I also think like a big tip, and maybe you guys said this. I was kind of in my phone there for a second, but you should really look at what Jamie Stegmaier has written on his blog. He has a book.
Oh no, yeah, we didn't mention that.
He's a book all about like tips for people who are thinking about running Kickstarters and publishing a game, and he shared a lot of wisdom. He's got a lot of experience. And,
Also, a very recent practical example was Gil Hova with the High Rise Kickstarter. He wanted it to be really nice plastic components. He just wanted to go all out on it. It was his personal passion to make this a really outstanding game, but it caused the price point to be too high.
Yeah.
And so he put his own ambitions for it aside, pulled it, and redid it to make cheaper components at lower price point, and now it's going very, very well.
Yeah, because no matter how good your game is, people aren't going to be able to afford it or feel like it's too much to spend.
Right.
You won't have anyone playing it. That's the problem, right?
Yeah, and again, as far as advice, like in the middle of a Kickstarter, this is tough. I will say that advice for people who are thinking about doing a Kickstarter is there's never too soon to start telling people about your game. You know what I mean?
People like to hear about it.
And that's not necessarily true, but
yeah,
it seems like, especially from like a content creator perspective,
Yes.
I do videos occasionally, somewhat often for Kickstarters. I get lots of emails from people saying I'm launching next week, and you go to the BGG page and there's nothing on it, and do you think? Or the one that really gets me is people say, check out my game, it's on Kickstarter. Can I send you the game, and can you cover it before the end of the Kickstarter?
Yeah.
And I think that's like
That's a no-go.
that's an obvious tell
Yes.
that like you should probably take it down, redo it, and really try to come in with a strict. And like you said, there's tons of amazing material online. Like we have anecdotal evidence about like working alongside this stuff, but like the Jamie Stegmaier stuff, which I haven't read, but I've heard great things about. Definitely look into that stuff for future ones.
Yes. Also, something you mentioned about that, when you do reach out and communicate and reach out to people and everything, though, there is, and you mentioned the emails that come in. There are so many emails that come in that are just addressed to team or whatever, and it's like you
boilerplate.
Yes, you haven't taken the time to establish a relationship with the people that you're trying to get to market your game in their media, and it shows. And yeah, so get involved with this community. Be a part of the community. Don't just be somebody that cold calls someone out of the blue. Say, hey, can you talk about my Kickstarter?
Because you kind of need them.
Yes, yeah.
People who don't have that kind of front-facing support from other media creators, those campaigns don't tend to do as well.
Yeah.
But I think we also like to feel like we're human beings when you reach out to us. And I don't cover Kickstarter, so for me it's a little easier to respond to those things. But oftentimes you'll get an email and you'll realize this person knows nothing about what I do, but they're the hugest fans. And always
Yes.
like, we're huge fans of your work, and we have this Kickstarter. Can you please do something for it? And I think that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, like I definitely have kind of a bit of an audience because I do a lot of stuff with my daughter who is just turned 12. And sometimes I'll get a email from someone that wants me to cover their adults, not safe for work party game.
There are a lot of those.
Yeah, that doesn't fit my audience at all. Yeah, and so that goes.
So know who you're reaching out to. Just take a few seconds. Just look through the channel, see what they've done recently, and maybe you might be able to go, oh, this person doesn't gel with what I'm doing anyway, so why would I reach out to them?
Exactly. I'm just going to interject real quick. Sure. Gay Lusac asked if we have any idea when FFG is going to come on. Their battery's dying. We're trying. We're trying to reach out. We're trying to get that information. Sorry. We're also trying to be entertaining.
We have top men working on it right now.
Yeah, no, it's tough because there's a lot of GAMA's a big meeting show. A lot of people taking a lot of meetings.
Yeah,
and if you're in the middle of a meeting, you might not see the time. Yeah.
And the exhibit hall hasn't started yet, so everybody is networking and in meetings right now.
Yeah. Well, apparently the Wits and Giggles says they're happy with their success. 2 weeks in, 75% on their Kickstarter. So
that's excellent.
So congratulations.
Yes.
I'm glad that's working out really well.
Yep. Oh, another tip for Kickstarter people is something a lot of people don't realize is that it seems that 80% of the revenue is going to come in within the first 48 hours. And then it just dips way down until the very end when it comes back up and you have a boost. So a lot of people get discouraged about midway through because they think it's just dying.
That's another thing I've heard is that talking to people who've done Kickstarters, you get that big bump and then like a week or two in, that's when people start canceling. And I've heard people say that they just every email is like a little wound, right? And I think a big maybe piece of advice when just preparing for it in the middle of a Kickstarter is try to third person yourself. Try to disembody, don't get so invested.
That's really important because and I see Kickstarter creators who get frustrated with some of the negative things that people say to them or they feel criticized. It goes with the territory. You kind of got to develop a thick skin about it and go, not everyone's going to love what you're doing and some people are going to be mean about it. I would avoid passive-aggressive tactics of going to the internet and saying, look what this person just said about me, and just...
I once canceled a Kickstarter pledge. I just decided against it, and then the creator sent me an email asking me to explain why I canceled it, and it was...
That is don't do that.
Don't do that either.
Because
that's not the relationship that the consumer is trying to get into with
the
you.
consumer often feels guilty about canceling as well.
It did, and now I was trying to and I'm not kind of white lies about it.
I'm sorry, I lost my job, and this in
reality,
what if it's really personal?
In reality, I just probably looked at it again and said, you know what,
not for me.
I'm okay with not playing this, and it was X dollars. So
I was in a situation at one point where I was out of work, and so I was canceling a lot of the Kickstarters and stuff that I was participating in, and one of them did reach out, and I was I decided not to respond because I was like I wasn't in a right frame of mind to craft a mature response.
Right.
But yeah, it was just kind of like, what? Don't ask.
Yeah, it's just tacky. If you couldn't hear, Derek was just saying that he had to cancel a bunch at one point due to real life circumstances, and it's just he apparently got that as well, and that doesn't work. You just got to pull your emotional self away from it. I mean, from my perspective, my YouTube channel, I have a Patreon account, and yeah, I mean, you get the ad and you're like, yay! And then like an hour later, there's someone who loses for twice the amount, and you're like, right. And then you're just like, you're doing the math in your head, and you're like, no, I gotta. This just needs to be a thing that happens.
And it's the thing I always like to say, we're back in Narcissist Hour, by the way, is that this is what we signed up for. No one made me start a YouTube channel.
Yeah, no one made you design and try to publish that board game on Kickstarter.
So so it's nobody's fault but your own in a way. And so I think that's a good perspective to keep, though, because then you don't blame other people when things aren't going the way you want them to go.
Yeah, you reminded me. I was going to mention too that when you're creating a project like this, especially like a game that you have developed, maybe it's one that you've developed over years. There's a lot of emotional attachment and investment in it, and sometimes it can be difficult to remember to stay professional. Be the most professional person on your forum or in your chat or in your updates. Just keep it, as professional as possible.
Even if you're feeling very raw underneath of it.
Yeah. And if you need,
because that's what hopefully your support system in your personal life is for. Your wife, your husband, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whatever that situation is, your friends. They're the people who can help support you there, but your potential consumers or whatever, it's not really their job to make you feel better.
You can voice concerns. You can say, hey, I am having difficulty with this. But when you start casting blame or projecting it, that's when you're going to run into problems that are going to reflect on your, as an unprofessional, put an unprofessional bent on everything you're doing.
Yeah.
And that's going to affect future Kickstarters.
Yeah, so I have a little news from, unfortunately, FFG is not able to attend right now. Lincoln, they're looking at whether or not they can swap their time around. I don't know where we have an opening. We do have, right now on the schedule I have in front of me.
There's a master list over here that has some updates.
Looks like there's a couple
12:50, yeah. By the way, to all of you guys watching, feel free to keep asking questions, because...
Yeah, it feeds us. We're less likely to slip into talking about ourselves.
Yes, and feel free to ask us questions.
Let's go to Greenbrier. I know Julie's here. We can have Sarah come on early, maybe.
Yeah, the 145 is taken, but we have the 1250 that's available, as far as I know.
Do you want me to say 12:50 to him, then?
Well, we have a half an hour in that spot, right?
Yes.
Just have him come in.
We have half an hour in which spot? Sorry.
Between Greenbrier and Aries, 12:30 to 1. Oh, I guess it's 20 minutes.
No, so that would be the 1250 slot.
12:50 slot?
Yeah, 12:50 slot.
So Greenbrier's got 20 minutes?
They do. They have 2 games on here, I guess.
Okay, so we'll say 12:50 then.
Maybe even 12:45. That gives it.
Here's a
I'll
question.
say 12:45. Yeah.
What was the first game you really got into, Chaz?
The very first game I really got into?
Yep.
Okay. Ooh. Well. All right. Well, let's just go around with this. Just real shotgun.
Yes. I'm going to ignore everything just for a few seconds while I talk to Brian.
Historically, very first one, Risk.
Oh, okay. Define really into. Define how really into Risk were you?
All right. So growing up, my stepfather, my mom got remarried when I was in first grade, and my stepfather was a little bit of a character. So there was a lot of tension in the family oftentimes. And so one of the very few opportunities to actually get together as a family and do something that didn't end up with someone screaming and going to their room and slamming the door was playing Risk, of all things. And when my stepbrother would come to visit during the summers, my stepbrother, my stepfather, and I would have these Risk games that would literally run all weekend.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really into it.
I'm going to step out just for a second because I'm going to talk to Lincoln here.
So Risk was the game in my childhood that I was first really into.
Yeah.
And that really had a big impact on just how I approached board gaming in general.
Okay.
How about you?
Interesting question to ask. I'm thinking about how to answer it. I was quite into the Star Wars collectible card game in like 7th grade or so I don't even know math. Back when it was relevant. And then I fell out of that very quickly when one of my best cards was stolen out of my backpack of a recess. Yeah, it kind of killed that one for me. But then I came back, I think it's probably Magic for me in high school. Like for about 2.5 years, I was crazy about Magic.
Okay, well, speaking of Magic, Magic was the game that pulled me back in. In the early 90s or so, when my wife and I moved, I was sophomore year in college. My wife and I moved down to the town my college was in Eugene, Oregon, and we had no friends or anything. And she was working in this dry cleaner. It was a little pickup drop-off depot, so she was all by herself. And this guy that had a business kind of next door, he would do his dry cleaning there, and he just would drop off his dry cleaning, and my wife would be reading books, and he read the same books. They started talking, and he invited us to go play Magic with them, and
that's cool.
him and the other couple that we went to play with became our best friends in Eugene, and we would go and play Magic at their place like at one point twice, 2 nights a week.
Oh, that's
we would
awesome.
we would play like these huge epic games. So we have 6 people, attack right, defend left, and the games would take like 3 hours.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I only ever played one-on-one.
Oh really? Oh,
Yeah, I literally only ever played one-on-one. Yeah.
Okay, I for the longest time literally only played 6-player.
Oh jeez. Yeah, that's a different game right there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But so that was the one that pulled me back in and reintroduced me to everything. And speaking of having cards stolen, I didn't have a card stolen, but we lived in this little apartment with these baseboard heaters along the wall, and I got a brand new pack. I opened it up and had a Sarah Avatar, which is a rare card where the Sarah Avatar, its strength and toughness are both equal to your life value. It's like, oh, this
good
could
card.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I opened up, cool. I opened up, flicked it, and it spun across the room. And it went right down the wall, whoop, right behind the space heater.
Oh my.
Again, I was never able to get it out. So there's an apartment building in Eugene, Oregon that has a Sarah Avatar. It's hidden in the wall.
That's an interesting treasure quest right there.
Yeah, I almost just pried the stupid thing off the wall.
Yeah, I don't blame you. What time period was that? Like date wise?
This was probably 93 through 97.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I probably started in 98.
Oh, okay.
99, it was right around then, maybe not 99.
Okay.
So.
When we were getting together, it was when Mirage came out. Was right when we stopped. So that was what petered out for us. Was Mirage.
All right. Well, I think we can now start getting back into pro mode here, and I am next. I think I'm.
you
this is
are.
my
You're
chunk, so I'm gonna go get changed.
Go get your jersey on.
Little update for everyone who are wondering about Fantasy Flight. They'll be on the schedule now for 12:45 p.m. local time. Whatever, Pacific? Pacific.
Could you hand me that pen, please, Lincoln?
Where am I now?
So that's Fantasy Flight?
That's Fantasy Flight at 12:45. Now, you might have saw on the original schedule we had 3 titles lined up, and they'll probably only be able to fit 2 titles now in the time slot, so we'll see.
Well, I'm glad they got contacted and we got them back on the schedule, because they would really be a pity to miss out on some news from them.
Well, I messaged Sarah, but she was coming early, so I ran out to get her, and there she was. It was perfect.
You are our hero.
I know how you guys work. You do so much good stuff for us. I don't want to make you wait.
Do you need any help setting anything up?
I want some help.
Excellent. All right. I will. Oh, are you grabbing that, Rodney?
He's cut into the cam too there to just look at the minis for a bit.
Excellent.
Sure.
Is this final?
Yeah. Well, actually, it's not final, but the current version of it is playable.
This one, actually, I have this on my schedule. Do you know when that's going out to me?
I don't.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I will find
I think I have it on my schedule for April. When's it releasing?
Not till May.
May, yeah. I think
But
it's on
should be
schedule.
able to get
Yeah.
you. Yeah, I should get you one soon.
April or something.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, I need you to do that so I can learn how to play it.
All right. So which mic is
I
mine?
read through the rules. I thought it sounded pretty neat.
Which is the best for?
I am. I'll give one to
I'll be number 1.
Am I? Or no, I took it off. Sorry. I should have handed it over. There it is. Sorry.
No worries.
I think I have the mute switch on. Just keep that in mind.
Thank you. Don't kill anybody here. So I'm gonna try to V down as much as possible.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Is that the official term? V down?
That's what I was doing. I was like, if you could get it low, I would love if we could use the lanyard. The lanyard's just, they're too sensitive for these mics.
Yeah.
The mics are too sensitive for it. All you hear is rubbing, sawing sound.
Not great. All right, are you ready, Derek? This is me. This is my levels. Is that pretty good?
Yeah, I headphones, I think.
talking right now. Does that sound okay? On microphone number 1.
It is like apple butter on my fingers.
Oh my goodness. All right. Are we going to do Power Rangers first, looks like? Holy cow. There's a lot more in this box, I think.
Yes. Yes, yes.
How are we on camera placements? Are we good? Has this been addressed? Great.
Well, you had the pro working on it there.
Yeah. So I have this now, yeah? I see. Cool, cool.
If this is too crowded, we can be cycling through these and like set up.
All right, while we fix some of this up, there were some more questions.